Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Today we're going to be playing some more of the Atari collection. This is the wider World of Atari DLC that just came out a couple of days ago, which goes into the wider World of Atari. And of course, joining me this evening is everybody's favorite Atari collector and YouTuber, Stu's Game Reviews. And we're going to be checking these out together. He is, of course, going to be giving us insight into all of these Atari games, because he has probably most of them. So welcome again.
Going,
pretty damn good.
I don't know about favorite, but
okay.
I'm definitely somebody's favorite.
Somebody's favorite? Well, there you go. At least you're somebody's favorite, right? All right. So
there were 3 people watching the stream before you started talking, and I think some people hung up because they were especially quiet for a while. So hopefully they'll come back.
Oh. Yeah, I always...
If you don't hear any sound in the stream, just stick around and wait, because it's coming. Yeah,
so basically how I do my streams, all of them, is I just give it a few minutes so that people can join before I start up. That's how I do it. I don't just hop right into it right away, because I like to give people a little bit of time. And on PS5, so I don't know. So on PC, when you do your streams, you have that timer and everything like that. You can't do that on PS5. So as soon as I hit live, it automatically goes live. I can't set a timer. I can't do any of that. Anyway.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it is. The wider world of Atari. Atari's cultural impact grew beyond mere entertainment. The company ultimately inspired future generations to create and innovate. Go into this right now. The original influencer, from arcade innovation to console domination.
Victory and the agony of defeat.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. From arcade innovation to console domination, Atari defined interactive entertainment for millions of people. Over the years, the company's legacy has been extended and preserved by programmers, players, and ardent fans who identify as both.
Do you think those are real people playing Atari?
Yes, including the dog. The dog is the biggest fan out of all of them. That dog is an Atari collector. You can tell just by his face.
The Atari VCS didn't come out until 1977, so that could not have taken place in 1976. But even so, I really wonder. Those are also not original Atari joysticks, so there's no way this happened even close to 1976.
Well, she's also got a lollipop in her hand. That doesn't help either.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a lollipop. I think that's a weird joystick. I think with a weird top. That's what I think that is. Well, I'm not totally sure.
I don't know. It could be a modern photo that they just made look. That they had them dress, and I don't know. I don't know, Stu. Why are we discussing this?
Because it's funny.
Fair enough. Born in the arcade, not only did Atari design and manufacture games in the 1970s, but the company also maintained machines at locations around Northern California.
With the girl choking on her lollipop while playing.
There you go. Dorian says the scene.
Choke on your lollipop.
The scene ends with the girl choking on her lollipop while playing. Maybe, or maybe the dog chokes on the lollipop. Who knows? Not only did Atari design and manufacture games in the 1970s, but the company also maintained machines at locations around Northern California as an extra source of income. A steady stream of new coin-operated titles became essential to the young company's success. And we got a video here. The birth of Breakout. One of Atari's biggest successes was an even bigger surprise to Atari's lead engineer. Al Alicorn explains how Breakout came to be. So let's check this video out. I'll just mute my mic while we watch this.
Breakout was really early. It's a ball and paddle game, right? And it was really an idea for Nolan to do that. I mean, he had a lot of ideas, and he was the guy that went around me and corralled Jobs into designing this, not knowing that Jobs wasn't an engineer and couldn't do that. And Jobs wasn't about to tell him, but his buddy was, who was just the sweetest, brightest savant. And I come in and Steve Jobs says, "Hey, look at this." And here is a finished game, Breakout. that was not under development. You understand? Typical games took a few months to develop. It was like...
Video is a little quiet on the stream. Hello, Grotto. How are you?
What? And Jobs says, yeah, he claimed he designed it. And no, he didn't. Bullshit. And I found out later that because Woz was coming in at night, he's working at HP.
I don't know why that is, Dorian. The volume is all up on my end. I'll look at the settings in a second.
It's crazy. You heard the story. I'll tell you my version because I've seen some different numbers. But as I understand it, Nolan said he would give Jobs a bonus of $1,000 a chip for every chip less than 50 that he was able to do this with. Now, knowing that this had more objects and stuff than Pong did, and Pong was 76 chips, it's a pretty safe bet that Nolan's not going to have to pay a penny for this, right? Again, Woz is one of the most gifted, brilliant men engineering. Woz designs it with like 24 chips. Now, Nolan didn't say you had to be able to buy the chips. So some of the chips were chips out of Hewlett-Packard that you couldn't get. But there was the prototype of the working game. And you look at a schematic, and I couldn't understand how would this thing work.
So I noticed that the video, I noticed that too, that the video is very quiet compared to the rest of the audio. And I don't think there...
With the audio for you?
Yeah, see, the audio volume is all the way up.
Is the video in sync with the audio?
Yes, it was. For me, it was.
For me, it was a little off. But wait a second, hold on. Are you able to, like, increase the volume just of the overall, like, stream or something? Or you can't do that?
I'm already at max volume on the stream.
Oh. So, by the way, one thing they didn't mention about that story, which I'm surprised they didn't mention it, is that Jobs, like, told Wozniak there was a bonus, but he told the bonus was, like, much smaller than it really
Video
was.
seems to be in
So when they
sync.
got
It's
the bonus,
just
he
low.
pretended to split it 50-50 with him, but actually he took like 90% for
Stu
himself
is also a little
because he told him
quiet
the bonus
too.
was much.
Sorry for complaining so much.
Stu is a little quiet too? What?
Are you sure yours are working, Dorian? So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you can do on your side, but what I was saying was basically he took 90% of the bonus for himself, even though they were supposed to split it 50-50 because he told Woz it was much less than it really was. Basically, he like sort of robbed him, took advantage of him, and I think he found out years later and he wasn't.
Okay, he's better
too thrilled
now.
about it. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know. I adjusted
I
a
went to
setting on.
Woz, by the way.
I adjusted a setting on my end, but that's not going to affect the video. So the video itself, it seems like the video itself just has terrible audio because I'm looking at all my settings and nothing is off. The volume is at full blast inside the game, and the volume is at full blast for my stream. So I think it's just a shit video.
Maybe Al Alcorn doesn't
Definitely
speak
worth
out.
the $10.
Are you gonna behave today?
Lewis asks
Absolutely not,
if you're...
Lewis.
He's not. Yeah, he never behaves. Visual storytelling. Arcade games with simple graphics often use the cabinet's marquee and side art to convey a story for the game. For Breakout, the image of a prisoner smashing their way through the logo suggested an exciting escape narrative that merely seeing a ball bouncing into bricks could not. And there's our logo.
I'm really surprised they didn't tell that. I'm saying I'm really surprised they didn't tell that part of the story because it's like, well, maybe Al didn't know that part, but anyway.
Can I just say that character looks like something you'd see on Mad Magazine?
It does. It looks like one of the spies, like Spy vs.
Right?
Spy.
Almost. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Destroyer. In Mike Alboz? How is that pronounced?
I don't know.
Okay.
Never heard of that guy.
In Mike Albaugh's naval action game Destroyer, players use a dial to adjust a horizontal depth line, then attempt to drop charges on the undersea targets. The similar
Of course.
but simpler Canyon Bomber with no ship speed or depth control would appear in arcades the same month. And there's
So you can play this one. Were you able to play the Breakout also, or this is the first one you can play?
That is a good question. I think Breakout's already in here, to be honest. No, you cannot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
So we'll just look at everything and then we'll play the game. Colorful promotion. Both the English and German promotional flyer for Destroyer feature bright colors in contrast to the actual game's monochrome graphics. Well, I mean, you're not going to add monochrome graphics to an ad because then you're going to lose interest. People don't want to look at a black and white ad for a game or something, right? I mean, you want it to be as colorful as you can so that you're getting the attention of the viewer.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, so I don't understand this. Well, in contrast to the actual game's shitty color palette. Like, okay.
I'm picking this up, by the way. This dude didn't get credit for this game. Apparently, he's uncredited.
Oh, there's actually four.
There's
actually four photos here.
Yeah, I was saying this dude didn't get credited for the game apparently, but he did make a few other Atari games like in the late '70s that we never heard of. Also,
okay.
Well, Drag Race, Pool Shark, Ultra Tank, but Atari Football was actually pretty popular.
So I'll quickly read this ad if you guys want. Oh, that's in German, so I won't be reading that.
Read the German one. Read the German one.
Yeah. Der Spieler is coming. No, I'm not doing that.
No, it says something about farting. Go back. It says like something about farting.
It says something about farting. I apologize in advance to all of our German viewers. Apparently, Stu has just insulted your entire religion. This all new video battle. Put the cookie down. This all new video battle action game is a direct hit for high repeat play. It challenges skill. Players control the speed of the destroyer with fast or slow speed settings. By turning the control, players move a horizontal line visible on the monitor that shows depth at which depth charge will explode when released.
Hey, Arnold was Austrian. That's the Canada of Germany.
The Canada of Germany? It challenges timing. By pushing the control, players zero in the depth line marker on randomly running subs and launch 1 to 4 depth charges at just the right time to score a hit. It challenges incentive. Highest score to date is displayed in the attract mode. 2 types of targets. To add to the replay challenge and excitement, there are 2 types of sub-targets that travel at different speeds and depths below the destroyer. Players can aim for higher point, harder to hit subs as skill increases. Scores vary from 25 to 200 points per hit, depending on difficulty, and are flashed on the screen. In the picture realism, 3D visual effects, realistic explosion, and sonar sound effects literally put the player in the middle of Destroyer's spectacular action. Exclusive operator options. Extended play can be set at 3 different levels of difficulty related to scores. Coinage can be set at 1 coin per play, 2 coins per play, 2 plays per coin, or free play for display and demonstration. Game times can be selected for 50, 75, 100, or 125 seconds. Exclusive self-test system. Added to thoroughly distributor and factory service backup, Destroyer has Atari's exclusive built-in test program that displays all microprocessor and memory functions, including switches and options for easy on-the-spot checking and troubleshooting. Built for heavy action. Durable construction. Durastress tested solid-state reliability and Instapart 24-hour parts. Longer 24-hour parts turnaround makes Destroyer a long-term profit maker. And the rest is just the heights and everything, and we're not going to go into that. Are you pretending to sleep, you motherfucker?
What? What was that? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Shut up.
That was so interesting.
Yeah. Alright. So we're going to go into the game now. Destroyer platform arcade
It's
release.
just funny because, like,
Go ahead.
You always say these games are all very basic. Like, this is probably like one of the most basic
drink and
ones there is. You know, like they try to make it sound so exciting.
Yeah.
I just find that funny.
Oh, I make it sound so exciting?
No, the flyer, the fire. Like, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be so freaking amazing, and we'll see how good it is.
Drink usually makes you split though.
Destroyer Platform Arcade, release year 1977. From their destroyer on the surface, players drop charges on the undersea targets below. An analog control dial was used to adjust the depth of the charge, with a lever to select the speed of the player's ship. Alright, let's
That was absolutely thrilling. So it basically, it says it was black and white, right? So, like, I'm assuming they got the blue.
It's in monochrome.
It's
in monochrome. It didn't say black and white.
Right. But I'm saying the blue stuff at the bottom of the screen.
I don't know. Hold up. Just like every other goddamn game on this collection, I don't know the controls. All right, here we go. Raise mind up.
While you're looking at the controls, what I'm saying was, I think they got that part to be blue by putting like a piece of blue like transparency over the screen at that spot. You know what I mean?
I see.
At the bottom of the screen. Just like they did the same thing for Space Invaders, I think, if I remember correctly. So, anyway. So I guess you gotta bomb the shit out of these things.
Yeah.
You gotta bomb the submarines.
Yeah, the enemy subs.
Which button do you press?
Oh, this is my depth gauge right here. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
Then X is my
that you load up with that one. Oh wait, that's you got load up. Oh, you still got it anyway, so man. Oh, because you lowered it while it was falling. Now you can do that. That's interesting. That's actually interesting. You can lower it while it's falling. This is a time game. I don't know if you have unlimited bullets.
Oh, just what? How did that hit?
Simply detailed for the 70s.
How many shots can you have with the game at one time? Just one?
Are we just gonna launch? Okay, well that's silly.
No, why not? It's a time game.
Oh, that's true.
You missed the wall, so the point is you might as well shoot.
That was terrible. Well, I don't know how that hit, but okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with the fact that definitely missed the sub.
Interesting. So you gotta line the line up, otherwise it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
You can go right through the thing. But you can move the line while the things are in the air too. You notice that?
Definitely hit that too soon. There we go.
This is definitely like one of the most exciting games I've ever played. It's okay. It's an arcade game. I
was gonna say, you lead a very boring lifestyle, don't you?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
But like I said, it's an arcade game from 1977, so
yeah,
there wasn't that much back then.
Well, that was fun.
You didn't finish the game. You had 9 seconds left.
Oh, okay. Well, I might as well finish the 9 seconds. Yeah.
Come on, move the thing up. Oh, man.
Hey, I at least got a score of 500. Normally, I would get a score of 0.
1,500.
So that's a pretty good.
1,500 for extended play. That's a fail. Massive fail.
Oh, do you want to see if you can?
It says those subs. Can I play? Is it possible?
There might be some input lag, but we can try.
Probably the most exhilarating thing you could do.
Right? In the 70s? Yeah.
Aside from cocaine.
Whoa, yo, dude, you want to see this new sub game I got, man? You should see, it's photorealistic, man. Oh my god, the visuals, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I can set it up so you can play. Give me a second.
Breakout came out the year before this, and Breakout, I think, is a much more fun game than this. So, yeah, if there's a way for me to play, I'd love to, but if I can't, then just move on. Oh,
there you go.
The host.
There you go. Now, there may be some input lag, but you'll be able to take control. So just use your PS4 controller and hit the hit the start button on your your PS4 controller, and from there your controls. You don't know where the start button is on a PS4 controller?
I don't have a start button.
You do. You do have a start button.
No, I don't. I have a PlayStation button.
No.
Start is what is that? Oh, it's what button is that? What is this? What's the picture of?
Jesus Christ!
So,
do you play on PlayStation at all? Like, do you just it just exists?
I don't know what the hell that button is.
It's right beside. It's right. It's on the right side. It's on the right side of the touchpads, dude.
This is options. Why does it just say options instead of showing little like stupid lines?
It's not. It's not considered the options button. It's considered the start button. But anyway, it's fine. Just Jesus Christ.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Now you might get some input lag here because of how we're doing this, but I think that's what that's how we'll do this today. We'll have you try every single game along with mine. So I'll play it for a bit.
Look at this.
I'll play it for a bit and then you'll play it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't hit anything. Finally, I got something. Wake up, little Susie. That's too fast. Well, being you with the input lag.
Yeah. I mean, I had a score of 500. You haven't beaten me yet. You haven't beaten me. Okay, you've beaten me. As soon as I say that, you're like, oh.
I'm not going to get the extended play though.
It is what it is.
Oh, come on.
We've got many more Atari games. There's 19 games we have to cover today, so I mean, we can't spend all our time with all of these.
I think I get the hang of this thing. I wasn't really worth 25 because it's too close to the surface.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty cool game though. You might actually get the score, to be honest. What was it that we needed?
1500. I'm not gonna get it.
Oh yeah, no, not in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was close. I had a chance. Not bad. I had a chance at it.
1375. That's not bad at all. All right, so I'm gonna just.
I'm good.
I'm gonna just revert the thing back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it over. I'm gonna switch it over every time that we have a game. I'll play first, and then I'll switch it over so you can give it a go. That way, we each get a share of playing the game. And we'll each be able to see if we can beat each other's score.
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right.
Depends on the game.
Depends on the. Fair enough. Super Bug. Before creating Fire Truck, Wendy Allen made the single-player driving game Super Bug. While graphics were shown on a monochrome monitor, translucent film overlays made the car appear yellow and the score appear green.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before with the other one.
Yeah.
So this game, there's another game that they made after this called Fire Truck, and that one I have played at the arcade a couple times.
Fire Truck's in this
Fire
Truck's in this collection. We played it last time.
Oh, did we? Okay, I forgot.
Yep.
So that one is like supposed to be very similar to this, but like that has 2 steering wheels, and this one is just one. So that's supposed to be a big truck, and this one is like a car.
Yeah, Fire Truck was actually pretty inventive. I liked it. I remember when we played it, I actually really enjoyed it. Bob Flamette.
It was cool.
Bob Flamette illustrated the VW Beetle for the Super Bug marquee, based on a design concept by Evelyn Seto. Daring and fast.
You see,
go ahead.
You see it was made by Kee Games? You know the story behind Kee Games?
No, I don't.
So Key Games was so Atari, when they first were making arcade games, they had a problem, which was that if they sold like a game to a distributor, then the distributor wanted like an exclusive contract with them, they wouldn't go to any other distributors. So they were having trouble penetrating the market. So in order to get around that, they started another company called Key Games, which was also Atari, but like people didn't know that. And so Atari had a contract with one distributor, and Key Games had a contract with another distributor. And the reason why it was called Key Games is because I think there was a guy, Joe Keenan, I think was his name, who was the president of Atari later on. And he was the guy that Nolan Bushnell was working with. And basically, so Key Games is really Atari in disguise, sort of, which is I find very interesting. And the first game that Key Games put out, I think, was Tank, the game that Combat of the 2600 is based on. And that was in 1975, I think. So this is like a couple of years later, I guess. And then eventually they got merged back into Atari.
So would that have helped their sales though, like changing the name? Because then you'd think that if they had that name change like that, you know what I mean, that people would not realize that they're Atari, and maybe not as many sales would have come through. I don't know. That just seems kind of odd.
I guess back then the Atari name was not as probably strong as it was eventually, because once they got stronger, they had more power, they could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, and they didn't have to
have a hard time penetrating the market.
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about name changes. Gotcha. That makes sense. Daring and fast.
And there was stuff like that happened, by the way. Sorry, there was stuff like that happened, by the way, at the time of the NES, because like Nintendo tried to like restrict a company from making. They wouldn't let them make more than 5 games a year. So like Konami, for example, would make 5 games a year. So they made like another company basically called Ultra Games, and they released like Metal Gear for the NES, for example, under Ultra Games. I'm not sure if Nintendo knew that it was also Konami or not, but they had to do that to get around the restriction of 5 games per year.
Nintendo was very strict back then. I knew that. I mean, but they were also very lax at the same time, because they were letting like the most indie of indie game companies, game developers make games. I mean, can we remember Bible Challenge? I mean, if you guys watch The Angry Video Game Nerd, you should watch him play Bible Challenge. That is one of the worst Nintendo games ever made.
Well, to be fair, Bible Challenge, whatever it was called, was one of the few Nintendo games that was actually unlicensed. So it didn't have the Nintendo seal of quality, and they didn't go through any of the other stuff.
No, it was...
They found a way to like hack in or something like that.
And then there was the Dr. Jekyll.
There were a lot of shitty games that were licensed too.
I think LJN was the ultimate crap-ass game company back then, back on the Nintendo. They were just like shooting out games. They were just shooting out games left, right, and center that were tied into movies, but had nothing to do with the movies. Like, they turned, like, Back to the Future into some Paperboy clone. It was the stupidest crap I've ever seen. Anyway, let's... Yep. Yeah. Daring and fast, the English flyer for Super Bug promises super thrills, while the German flyer pitches the game to daring men and fast ladies. What does that mean, fast lady? Fast ladies. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want me to read this, or are you going to fall asleep again?
I'm definitely going to fall asleep, but I think everybody else in the stream will too.
All right.
Go back to the German one, though. That's good. The tolle Rennen von was Hagels Mann stimmt damit und rechnet Stelle. Sorry.
You just sound like you just had a seizure. Are you okay? All right. Oh, we can play this.
Talk more about fast ladies. That'll keep Stu away.
Talk more about fast ladies. That'll keep Stu away. That's probably true. You're not wrong there, Dorian.
Maybe I think if a fast lady talks about fast ladies, that might keep me awake. If Stu talks about it, I think I would stay awake.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, Super Bug platform arcade, release year 1977. Super Bug, in which players avoid hazards while driving a car on a scrolling road, became Wendy Allen's first game for Atari's coin-op division, and was used as the basis for 1978's Fire Truck. Inspired by the popular Volkswagen Beetle, Super Bug was developed under the working title City Driver.
It's interesting. I assume Wendy Allen was a woman. I'm not sure, but I assume.
I think that's
Like,
the Wendy Allen was the she was in some of the when we streamed the Atari collection the last time, which would have been many moons ago, like a couple of months, not longer. She was in those videos. She's like the male to female. I believe that's her. Yeah, she was the male to.
Oh, I see. I get it.
Yeah. She had a sex change. All right. So let's look at the controls first because the start button's not working.
It's that button that says options.
Oh, it is the options. Why wasn't it? Okay, that's weird. Oh, now it's working. All right. It's just being a.
First, you need to look at the rest of the controls.
Well, this is fun already. What? There we go.
Oh, you're going.
Yeah, it was just taking a while for it to.
What was that?
Sand.
Did you see that? There was like a big flash on the screen.
I love how they had to put down the writing "sand" in the sand for people to understand what the hell they're looking at.
True.
Oil.
Pretty good. You're really good, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Stu.
Well, you're doing
I'm surprised they didn't write bug on the car.
Right? That would have been funny. This is a car. They should have written on the car.
Car.
That would have been funny. Was that a parked car that I just drove past? This is like a very dangerous racetrack. Can we just say that
this is very, very similar? This is super similar to that fire truck game. It's exactly the same engine, basically.
It seems a lot easier than the fire truck game, though.
Oh, I think you got it just in time, and you keep going. You finished the course like just in time. Free play, it says. Oh wait,
no, it says 160. I got a score of 60.
Oh, okay. Bonus for 160.
Would you like to try, or are you good?
How do you get a? It's up to you. I don't need to
try.
No,
it doesn't matter to me. I'm asking you. It doesn't matter to me.
All right, fine. I'll try. I don't know how you get a score so low compared to. You did a really good job. I'm wondering. Like, I feel like it's possible.
I think probably because I crashed a few times.
Maybe.
This is your car, you stoned disco imbecile.
You stoned disco imbecile? Alright, you now have control, so if you want to just hit the start button, sorry, the options button.
Which button goes back to the thing and lets me see, like, the controls?
Touchpad.
So accelerate R2, okay.
I wasn't using my gears.
Oh, there's gears.
Yeah, I wasn't using my gears. I was just driving.
Gears.
I was just driving.
That's probably why then.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go back.
More than likely. So you want to go to resume? Yeah. There you go.
Oops. I pressed options again. That's weird. Oh, now it's going.
So your right trigger and then your left joystick is to turn.
That wasn't good.
Yeah, already. See, guess who's winning this round?
Crap. It's hard to control. My score is 0. Come on. I'm trying to get used to the controls here too. Oh, so you're right. So crashing didn't lose me anything. It just moved. Sorry.
So I just want to point out that I will never be driving anywhere with Stu in the real world ever because, this is, I don't know if you understand the basics of this game, but it's not to smash into everything you see.
Are you sure?
Jesus!
At all. Oh my god.
You're off the track! How the hell? You've broken the game!
This is awesome!
You have officially broken the game.
You won't be driving with him anywhere. Not even to U-Ball's restaurant.
I will never go to Bowl's restaurant, sir.
Drink and drive kids.
He is officially... You're not even on the track. The track's on the opposite side. That's crazy.
Sorry. It's a sorry. For you, it said so-so. For me, it said sorry. Alright, I give up on this game. For now, at least, anyway. I have to come back to later time.
So, Atari, fix your games, because Stu just broke your game.
Oh, man.
Alright. So that was...
You suck at some games.
See, that was Super Bug, and we got a beautiful tour of the outside of the track.
What's it called again? Super Buggy?
Yes. Super Buggy.
Yeah, that's what should be called. Super Buggy.
Fix the games you made in the 70s. I want patches for these, damn it. No, I'm just...
Well, if they put it on this thing, it should be patched. But I guess nobody probably ever did that before, what I just did.
Yeah. Skydiver. Skydiver players attempted to land safely in the drop zone for big points. For extra novelty, the cabinet's joystick was shaped like the handles of a parachute ripcord. A home version would appear months later. Flyer and postcard. Skydiver received a boost in awareness from a flyer as well as a postcard, which also advertises an unusual 2-in-1 cabinet, which would maximize floor space in crowded arcades.
I have this game for the Atari 2600, but I don't think I ever played it. Maybe I did, I'm not sure.
Look at those bell bottoms, man.
It's funny.
You know what these two are saying, right? They're like, groovy, baby. I always wanted to fly and parachute, man. Now I don't need to. I don't need to jump off a plane. I can just pull a cord in an arcade game and parachute like you do in real life.
What they're actually saying, they're saying, hey, is this okay? Should I stand over here? You want to leave this way? That's what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, did you notice like the arcade cabinet for Skydiver has like these parachute like rip cords? You see that?
Yeah. Did you not listen to what I just said? It literally.
Well, it's cool.
Oh no, it is. It is. It is really cool. It's unique. Definitely unique.
Yeah, it's cool. That's the problem with playing these games like not in the arcade is you can never really get the full experience anymore.
Would this game still exist in arcades somewhere? Probably not, I would assume.
I mean, some arcade probably has it. I'm assuming. I don't know where. I've never seen it.
Skydiver. Jim Huther says he started programming the home version of Skydiver before even learning about Owen Rubin's coin-op version. Perhaps great minds think alike? The resulting Skydiver, 2 words instead of the arcade version's 1, compound word became an early VCS hit. Then we can rotate our Atari box for Skydiver.
It's funny they say it's a hit. Like I don't know if anybody ever played that. Like I mean, I don't think that was like one of the most popular Atari games, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. So we have 2 versions.
I'd like to get backed up by sales
So
figures.
interestingly enough, we have 2 versions we can play here. We can play the arcade version, and then we can compare it to the Atari version, which we can play there. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm sure the arcade version is like 1,000 times better.
Oh yeah, of course. Cover art. Greg Vance's original artwork for the box cover of Skydiver. It looks like there's a lot of explosions. Is the plane on fire? Like, hold on. This feels less like skydiving and more like avoiding death.
Well, in the picture on the bottom left, it looks like this parachute.
That is honestly decent art.
Yeah, it is decent art. It just looks like everything's on fire. Now, this is the art for the arcade cabinet. They actually have photos of people skydiving, which is interesting. All right. So anyway, let's we'll hop into. So there's a photo of the arcade. 25 cents. Jesus, if only it was like that today. Skydiver platform arcade, release year 1978. Guide your Skydiver to the landing platform to win an Owen Rubin's straightforward test of skill. Once the chute is deployed, keep an eye on the wind speed and direction to keep your jumper on target. Alright, let's see. I haven't even started yet.
Before out of the plane, like screaming. Oh, is this 2 players? Probably is.
I don't think so. It doesn't have the option.
Oh, really? That sucks. Is this the arcade version or the Atari 2600 version?
We're doing the
arcade. 2 people, 2 planes. It's not 2 players. Yeah.
Maybe it is 2 players. Well, I'll see when I start it up. I'm just looking at the controls. Okay, so release from parachute, left and right. Open parachute. Okay, so very basic.
Try game options.
Where do you see game up?
When you do a zoom and then press the touchpad. This is game options. See?
That just takes us back here.
Oh. Sorry, I'm dumb.
Alright, anyway. Push start. Well, that's what I'm pushing, sir.
There's definitely 2 players.
What's going on here? Let's reset this for a second.
Definitely 2 players. Look, there's 2 scorers.
I'm hitting that button. I'm hitting start. Nothing's going on here. Oh, there we go. Jesus, that was a delay.
Look, it's 2 players.
No, it does say that, but maybe for this they only made it as one player. What?
What just happened?
Oh, I'm going against the computer. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I fell to my death. I splattered against the ground, and the computer landed properly.
Why would you go against the computer? That makes no sense.
It's not giving me the option. It's not giving me the option to have a second player.
Yeah, but it's 3 misses per player. You get 3 misses. You gotta open your parachute. Open your parachute, fool. I don't know if it's R.
Right arrow down. Right joystick down. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing.
Let's press the button in. Let's press the button in.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh, okay, you survived.
No!
You're gonna land on yours. Bullshit, how can you use a bigger number than you? What did you do to deserve a smaller number?
Almost.
You missed. You both missed. You won, but I don't understand why it's not 2 players.
I'll do one more round of this, even though I'm probably gonna fail again. Oh, I'm gonna land this one. It looks like. Fuck! Stupid wind. I was gonna land right.
Of the numbers. I
The numbers are the
understand none of
point story.
this.
The numbers at the bottom, they're your score.
Well, the numbers at the bottom is the amount you get for landing on that safely, and the numbers at the top is your score.
The numbers at the top are the same.
Can the well, that's because you only landed once successfully.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that is true. Well, that was fun.
I don't understand why it's not 2 players. Something's wrong here.
We can actually turn off the filter and make it more high def.
It says specifically Skydiver is a 2-player game. I'm looking online. What about dip switch settings? Bullshit. Is there any
That was the opposite of
so that I
fun.
can play or something? That was the opposite of fun. Is there any invite me to the game? Or something like that?
No, because no, it doesn't. It looks like they. It looks to me, Stu, that they only made it single player for this collection for whatever reason.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Because they don't even... Because they would have listed in the controls, you know, press this button for 2 players. But instead, they just give you the basic controls. Which leads me to believe that... yeah, 'cause that's just remapping. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, what am I doing?
US controls. Yeah, why would they put why would they put the right trigger anyway? Like, which idiot made these controls?
Well, that's why they give you the option.
By the way,
that's why they give you the option to remap the controls however you want.
You know how many buttons the Atari joystick had when they came with the system?
1. Oh wait, no, it wasn't it 2? Was it 2 or was it 1?
Oh, sorry. It was 1, but you know, you're right. This is not the Atari. This is not the 2600. This is the arcade version.
Yes, this is the arcade. Yeah, this is the arcade version. We're not. We haven't gone into the Atari one yet. We're gonna go into the Atari one now.
Oh, let's try the Atari one.
Maybe the Atari one is 2-player.
I hope so.
Skydiver, platform Atari 2600, release year 1978. Inspired by the arcade game Skydiver, pressing the button causes a diver to leap out of the plane overhead, and pulling down on the joystick deploys the parachute as the player aims for the matching colored platform below. Sears issued this cartridge under the name Dare Diver. Oh yeah, this looks so much more detailed. We've got crosses.
So basic that it almost doesn't matter.
We got crosses flying in the air. Yeah, no. Oh, they give you the actual instruction manual. There we go.
That's cool.
Your initial task is to guide the Skydiver onto the landing pad. Your ultimate task is to score more points than your opponent. To hit the landing pad and score points, you must release the Skydiver from the airplane, obviously. Open the parachute, control the downward drift of the Skydiver, land squarely on the pad at the bottom of the screen. There are 5 2-player games in Skydiver. You and your opponent have 9 jumps, each in which to score points. See the scoring sections for details. Both planes fly across the screen simultaneously, but in opposite directions. God, was that the actual manual? There was only 3 pages.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the. It's like a fold over. Like that's what it looks like when it's
closed.
Oh,
it's a fold over. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like today's manuals, or I mean, we don't even have manuals anymore. It's all digital.
Yeah,
but I mean, no, there isn't to save trees. But I mean, I remember back in like the 90s, manuals were like 100 pages. And they would like put everything in there. They wouldn't just put in like the controls. They'd put in like, I mean, in the case of Leisure Suit Larry games, they put in like jokes by Al Lowe. They put in the credits of everybody who worked on the game. They just like jam-packed those manuals with as much stuff as they could.
I really miss those manuals.
Yeah, I still have a lot of them. You know, I was saying the other day, I have a lot of the Sierra hint books. So all those old I got the hint book for King's Quest 1 and Space Quest 5, and oh yeah, no, I got tons of Sierra hint books. It's crazy because I used to buy them because I was such a moron back in the day. My dad's like, Jesus Christ, my son sucks at these games. I'm gonna have to buy him the hint book now because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. so he'd go out and buy them.
That's nice. Those are hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. So one year I got Riven for Christmas, the sequel to Myst. And I was having so much trouble with the puzzles that on Boxing Day my dad literally drove to town, which was like a half-an-hour drive away from us, and bought me the Riven strategy guide.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right.
So for those people in the United States who don't know, Boxing Day in Canada is like the day after Christmas.
Yes, Boxing Day in Canada is the day after Christmas.
They do. Some people here do call it boxing game. I think it's much more of a Canadian thing than a US thing.
What is it called in the U.S.? The day after Christmas?
Day after Christmas.
Fair enough. Okay. Gotcha. All right. All right. So open parachute. That's not even giving me a button. What am I looking at
Boxing
there?
Day is a fairly global thing, I think.
I think it's more now than it used to be. I think, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I think more people in the U.S. know what it is.
Open parachute is down by the looks of it. Yeah, down, steer left, steer right. Release from plane is X. So instead of using the down on the joystick, they're using down on the analog, which makes more sense, honestly. I don't know why the other game didn't do that. All right, so let's.
So is there a two-player mode?
I mean, I knew what Boxing Day was before I knew what Canada was.
So you're an idiot. That's why.
Don't insult my viewers, Stu! How dare you? Dorian, you have every right to fire back with an insult.
Sorry, I was just kidding.
I know.
So there's no two-player mode on this either?
No, it doesn't look like it.
It can't be. Something's wrong.
No, it
Game
means...
doesn't know we're playing two-player. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Quick menu is right stick in. Let's see what that does. So let's reset game. Quick menu. Select game variation. Here we go.
I lived on the other side of the planet. The
Oh, there we go.
country
Yep.
I learned about was Zimbabwe.
We can have up to 5 players.
I think that's 5. Game variation 5. See at the bottom, it says stationary platform, small size is 2.
Oh, that's
But it says P1 plane and P2 plane. Like there's definitely 2 players like that they think are playing here.
black and white TV.
You made black and white.
What?
Yeah. You made it black and white, but you put it back. Hey, don't do that.
But
All right.
yeah, people don't remember what boons those strategy guides were in the era before the internet.
Something is broken. This should be. This obviously thinks it's 2 players. It has P1 plane and P2 plane.
Uh.
I don't know. I don't want to spend all day figuring it out, so go ahead without it. Just, it's unfortunate. Yeah, by the way, it says on Wikipedia, Massachusetts, the governor declared 1996 that every 26th December is Boxing Day, blah, blah, blah. The holiday is otherwise not widely celebrated in the United States.
Okay, they made this...
I think it's really funny how he falls, like, waving his arms and legs, and like, ah!
And he just splatters into the ground, kind of like Space Quest 3's deaths. Oh, no!
I run a lot of Miss Astro Chicken, actually.
It's very similar. Yeah, it's very similar, except in the Astro Chicken games, you had to push up and down at the same time to slow your speed. They don't have that in this.
Here, you play. I'll make the music. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that all day long. Also, the share play ends in 1 minute.
All right. Well, we get the idea. I do find
That definitely got the idea.
I do find that game controls better than the arcade one. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as...
Why don't you press triangle over here? Why don't you press triangle here, which is select game variation?
Hang on. I'm just gonna... Sorry, I'm just resending your share screen.
Oh, okay.
What happens when what?
What happens if you press triangle on the screen you're just on? It says game options. I can't see it now. Hold on. Right here. You just push page you back to the same thing. Oh, alright, forget it.
We tried.
Yep.
Moving on, Avalanche. Avalanche players catch rocks that fall from the top of the screen. As speed increases, rocks become smaller and intentionally irritating white noises become progressively louder to break the player's concentration. Larry Kaplan cited Avalanche as a direct inspiration for his Activision game Kaboom. There's a photo, not video, of the cabinet. Infinite play. Avalanche's promotional flyer notes players can play Avalanche indefinitely, as long as they don't miss.
This is cool. I've never played this game, but I have this on this version we're showing here. Look at this, is cool.
Avalanche launched as a mail order initiative in 1981. The Atari Program Exchange APX created an indie publishing avenue for amateur programmers, but sometimes pros too. Both the arcade and APX versions of Avalanche were programmed by Dennis Coble after publishing hits like Caverns of Mars and Dandy. Atari discontinued APX in 1984.
So this is for like the Atari 8-bit computer, and it's interesting because like it's almost like their budget label. Like they publish stuff like that looks much nicer than this. This is their budget label. I don't know why some stuff ended up here. I guess some of it's indies, but not all of it's indies, which I find interesting. And this basically like this was a generic box, and all it says like basically you see there's like a hole cut in it, like there's this rectangle in the middle, and that's like on top of cassette. So the box itself was generic. It says APX on the top of the play.
Somebody actually wrote.
Whose box is that?
I don't. Yeah.
It says APX. It says cassette, and then the rest of it is a window that you see the manual through it. That's the manual that you're seeing there. And the back of the box is also generic. So that's how they package those things. It's really interesting. So when you buy them nowadays, usually it doesn't have the outer box, which is generic. It just has like the manual and the actual tape or disc or whatever.
APX software stacks up, promoting both the depth and breadth of the 1983 APX library. This magazine ad touts APX creators as experts in the fields of not just games, but also telecommunications and personal productivity. Why user-written software really stacks up to the best? There's a lot of Atari computer users out there, and many of them write software. They really know what users like and what users want. Because honestly, who knows more about users than other users? The Atari Program Exchange APX publishes user-written software for Atari home computers, which means all APX software is written by and for people just like you. Their home management programs are written by people who manage their own homes. Their home office programs come from people whose offices are at home. The APX personal development line is written by those with a natural love for the subjects they choose. APX games are written by game players with one single-minded objective: fun. So next time you're ready to invest in some new software, see how APX programs stack up against the rest. You'll see why Atari home computer users make such great software writers. In fact, you could get so carried away that you might end up writing your own software. If you do, send it to APX.
Wow, indie games existed even back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I think it's really cool, actually.
I'll just zoom in on this a little bit so you guys can see it.
Can you zoom in on more? Can you see which game's on the top there? Eastern Front. Eastern Front's probably the most famous game that came out of APX. Sorry, it's just leading APX titles.
So it's Attack.
One of the very top of the stack, I'm saying, is Eastern Front on the picture.
Oh yeah, well it lists it off to the side, leading APX titles. Attack, Galahad.
Eastern Front was one of the first games by Chris Crawford, who was the guy I think that founded the Game Developers Association. Did a lot of interesting stuff.
So am I to believe that this entire stack of cassettes are just all games?
It's very possible.
Yeah.
They got a lot of them. Some of them are really stupid. Some of them are like, states and capitals, stuff like that, or like, learn your ABCs or whatever. But there's also some good stuff in there too.
This guy is so terrified. He's like, what am I gonna do? I told my wife I don't buy computer games anymore, and now I gotta stack from here up to the ceiling.
He's about to get buried, that guy.
All right, so we'll start out with the arcade, and then we'll go into the cassette. Sound good?
Yep.
Avalanche Platform Arcade, released year 1978. In a nod to Pong's famous player instructions, Avalanche's control panel says, "Catch falling rocks for high
He
score."
looks like the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Rick Moranis from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
A little bit.
Maybe. Very similar hairstyle, except Rick Moranis had more curly hair. Catch falling rocks for high score. The irritating white noise heard while catching rocks in the player-controlled buckets below is entirely intentional. It is a design tactic to break the player's concentration. Well, that sucks, because I can't even concentrate half the time anyway. No.
Do you get the reference that they said for the Pong? The reference there? The instructions on Pong was just... The only instructions I think it came with was just avoid missing ball for high scores. Yeah, avoid missing ball for high score. So this one, I guess, is like something else for high score. That's what they're saying. It's a non...
This one has two players. So see, P1 start, P2 start. So this has two players.
Oh.
So
Where did you say that? Oh, there, okay.
yeah, so some of the games, they added some games that didn't have the option for two-player for whatever reason.
What jerks.
I know, right? Anyway, did you want to do two-player on this? Or? All right.
Yeah, let's try it. I don't know how to do it. Let's try it.
Okay, so
press two-player start.
So-
Press one-player start.
yeah, so you hit...
No, I think you used to hit R1 to start two players, and then hopefully I'll come in, maybe. Or I could try it with two, but...
Okay. So this is... what?
It's probably two players one at a time.
Well, that was fun.
Oh,
All
so
right.
I turn it out, like, but I can't move, it's just you again. It's just you moving again.
No, I need to...
Something wrong here.
no, I need to... when it's your turn, I need to...
No, it can't be that dumb. There's no, like a possibility for co-op?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, because then that would mean that I'd have to find a way to invite you into the game session, and the only way I can do that is by game share. So what I'm assuming that they're doing is couch co-op. So like, I play first, then I hand the controller to the second player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. It says they include two-player local co-op. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
sucks.
did you still want me to share gameplay with share play with you?
Nah, it's not necessary. I'll just watch.
Okay.
That's the reason why the other ones didn't work, because even like the local co-op, like you'd think they'd be able to play two. I mean, I guess you could maybe if you had a second joystick plug into your system, your PS5, it would have worked. This is pretty hard.
Well, I did a lot better that time.
Looks like Kaboom.
Looks like Kaboom, our Orbit Askew says. Actually,
It's very much like Kaboom.
I think they actually
Well, that's
mentioned
cheap,
that,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, they said it was Kaboom was this was an inspiration for Kaboom. The only thing that's cheap about it is that, like, sort of like you go in between the holes, I guess. Or you lost a bucket because you cleared a line or something. So if you do better, then you actually lose stuff. Can I get over there? It doesn't use a pad on it, I don't think. You're pretty good.
They made it sound like the white noise sound would be very distracting. It's barely distracting. It sounds... My fan sounds louder than the white noise I'm hearing in this game.
Maybe it gets louder? Going faster, a little. Man.
I mean, I got 100. I got 167 score there, so that wasn't too bad.
That was great.
Fair enough. Now let's try the APX version. Avalanche platform Atari 800, release year 1981. The home version of Avalanche was programmed by the same person who created the arcade version, Dennis Coble. The gameplay remains the same. Use paddle controls to catch falling rocks, but the home computer version adds colored graphics, an upgrade from the monochrome coin-op. Okay. Let me just check the controls quickly. We got the instruction manual here too.
Wait, that's not the
Go ahead.
That's not the original instruction manual. Like that's the re-release instruction manual. I told you the instruction manual showed through the window of the box. So this is like the re-release. Just go back. Say on the first page. I may go before that. Oh, it just says no. It just says can't comment. That's not the original manual. I just find that weird. Okay, anyway, someone got lazy here. Seriously.
It's almost like so. So these pages themselves aren't even. Oh, there we go. There you go. I'll print this off, and you can complain to them, Sue. That's not the original manual. We'll see if there's a scale. If they'll send something back. Yeah. Dennis Coble, the fourth programmer.
Edition C. You see that? Edition C?
Yeah.
I see that means the third edition of the manual.
So it does say that it's
fancier.
It does say that the manual contents are from 1981 though. So I'm almost wondering if maybe the cover is more recent and then the actual pages themselves are from the original manual.
But it could be, but the manual size also got smaller. Like the original manuals were like the size of like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and this one is a little smaller than that. So it could be the same exact comments. I don't know for sure. I don't mind having pictures.
No, I'm not gonna. Go ahead.
I'm saying I don't think they had pictures in the original ones. I bet you I could find them. I'll look for it.
Cover looks like 80s Atari.
Orbit Askew says cover looks like 80s Atari.
It looks a little bit like the covers of the 2600 games, I think is what he's saying.
So I'm not going to read the whole manual. I'll just read about the author, Dennis Coble, for those of us who don't know anything about him or whatever. Dennis Coble, the fourth programmer ever to be hired by Atari, recalls the early days of designing video games. The staff came up with a game called Catch, featuring cute little eggs dropping into baskets. Testing the game showed it was a failure. But when they changed the eggs into rocks and added excitement and danger to the same format, Catch became Avalanche, and a popular arcade game was born. After designing many similar games for the coin-op division of Atari, Dennis turned his attention to adapting Avalanche to the home computer, and it has been one of APX's most popular games. Dennis has learned that brainstorming ideas for games is easy. The hard part is executing them. Graphics must be precise, and controls must work accurately. For every success, you can expect 10 failures, he warns. Dennis is now vice president of a software company in Los Gatos, California. All right, well, that was that.
I couldn't find it, but
well, you don't need to look for it right. Why are you looking for it right now?
I don't know, because I was just curious. I felt like when you were reading like Dennis Coble's like reflections, you should have like done it in the voice of Grandpa Simpson.
Grandpa Simpson here.
Back in my day.
All right, just for you, Stu. Okay, just for you. Where's the damn manual?
Where is it?
So I'd have to go to play and then.
That's so interesting. It loads up like an Atari browser. I wasn't.
So what do you want me to do? Say it in Grandpa Simpson's voice?
Didn't it say before, like, it's not here. It was reading before. I can't remember where, I don't know where it was. You were saying about his reflections or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was just dreaming it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Is this guy still even alive? I wonder.
I don't know.
Oh, he is. We'll look it up.
I'm not sure.
Dennis Koval.
You want me to just read his bio as Grandpa Simpson?
No,
Dennis
just
Koval, the fourth programmer ever to be hired by Atari. No, all right. Anyway, let's go back and let's get out of here. Let's go to the next game.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still alive or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Atari Football. While Atari suggested using joystick controls to keep costs down on football, mechanical engineer Jerry LaShock created a roller controller that was affordable enough to appease management. In a nod to real-world coaching diagrams, Atari Football represents players as simple X and O characters.
Seems like a trackball.
There's the cabinet. Can I zoom in on that? Oh, I can zoom in on the cabinet. All right.
Yeah, so they say a roller controller, they mean like a trackball.
Yeah, no, I figured. Remember the computers back then? We didn't have a mouse. We had the roller balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, when I went to high school. No, sorry. Not in high school. When I was in elementary school, they had the roller balls on the keyboard. And that's how you didn't have a mouse. We had these roller balls, these track balls. And that's how we would move around the, yeah. Notable and quotable, Jerry LaShock found that trackballs for air traffic control centers cost $350 to $800. Management said, well, it's too expensive. Forget it. We'll use a joystick. So Jerry came up with a trackball that we know and love. It was still more expensive than the joystick, so there was still some griping. But my griping was, no, the game's not worth doing it if you don't do it with a trackball.
Sounds about right.
Promotional flyer. Based on its X and O playbook aesthetic, the flyer for football calls the game a chalk talk that moves.
Chalk talk? I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
Yeah, me neither. And then 4-player flyer. Following the success of the 2-player cabinet, Atari released the accurately named Atari 4-player football, not only doubling the players, but adding 5 additional plays, including kicking, as field goals were not an option in the previous game. And there's a flyer of...
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Alright, so, Football Platform Arcade, release year 1978. Visually reminiscent of football coaches' playbooks, Atari Football offers a simplified version of American rules football for 2 players using analog trackball controllers. Its scrolling playfield was an important innovation for sports gaming. I'll be honest with you, I'm not into sport games at all. I've never been a big fan. I've never been a big fan. Let's look at the controls.
It's like a running game mostly. They have the trackball so you can like run fast with the ball.
Is that the same flyer that we saw earlier? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's just showing all the flyers. Okay. So controls. Trackball direction. So it's just the left joystick.
What's up, Jabronis?
Hey, always asleep. Wow, we haven't seen you in a very long time. How are you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. We're just going into the new DLC that released 2 days ago for the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection.
I've seen him not too long ago. But, like, I told you, I did that stream and he was holding the guy on it, so...
Oh, really?
Anyway. Yeah.
Hey, at least you know you're a true fan. There you go.
Yeah. It's not you.
Damn right! No, I'm just joking. Alright. This looks like it might be a bit complicated. It also says it's a 2-player game as well. Start 2-player game.
Streaming and my life has not been the same.
Stu quit streaming. Stu didn't quit streaming. He's just taking a little bit of a siesta.
Yeah, and this is my second stream I've already done with the Gamer Grotto, so...
Yeah, see? He's streaming on my channel now.
You just can't see me, so I know that's very distracting. That's what to see me.
I know. But here, hold on. Where's the start button? I want to start the game. Here we go. Select play, pass. All right. Start 2-player game. So is this just a 2-player game? Is that what I'm reading here? Okay, let's hit square. Square's not doing anything. What? I don't know what am I playing right now? Or is this still in demo? No, insert coins. Okay. So I don't think I can play this with just one person then, if that's the case. Possibly.
I do hope he streams again soon, but as long as at least one of you is streaming, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I'm sure...
Your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed.
Shut up. I'm sure he'll stream again soon. He had a lot of fun with when we did... what's the other game? The one that I streamed yesterday or a couple of days ago.
Whatever it was a lot of fun.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi, whatever.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, I showed him that, and he was giving his commentary on it, and he really enjoyed it. What is going on here?
Supposed to select a play or something. I guess you can't do this unless you take... you can't play this. It's unplayable. You need someone else to be with you to take a joystick. Relive game.
Well, I mean, there was the game. I hope you guys... I hope you guys enjoyed that one.
Number 15 on the offense.
It's
penalty.
Apparently only playable. It's apparently only playable if you have 2 controllers. Now I do have 4 controllers, but
I'm sorry. I have a problem with this. It's really stupid that this is 2024, and they did not set this up so that you can play it over the internet with somebody. That's lazy shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All these videos and crap. They should have taken the time to put all these videos in and just adjusted the program so you can play over the internet. That would so much better.
That's true. Vector Magic. Atari created just 13 games with vector graphics, 6 of them by 1980. Several have become iconic examples of Atari's coin-op era. Here, developers old and new discuss how vector games required a different perspective on both design and technology. So before we
used to make these vector games, I had to drink a lot of coffee first, and then I was able to make the game.
I had to have at least 25,000 cups of tea. Alright, so before we go into that video, we'll look at the other stuff that's here. So, yeah. Golden Asteroids. The Golden Asteroids cabinet marked the milestone of 50,000 asteroids machines manufactured. Another 6,000 would be produced before the end of its run. This special machine was playable in Atari's office lobby for several years, and currently resides in the offices of Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealm Studios. Interesting that they have it. Why would they have it?
Good question.
Yeah, right? I mean, I guess maybe John Tobias is a fan. Ed Boon and John Tobias. I think that was their names. The guys who made Mortal Kombat.
You know what? What's the name of that guy? Eugene Jarvis. What did him? He had to do with it. I don't think there was any connection between Atari and Midway, as far as I know.
No.
I'm
assuming he's just a collector. Red Baron. The clean, minimalistic lines of vector monitors were well suited to games with a first-person perspective. Released shortly after the tank-based Battlezone, Red Baron places players inside a World War I biplane in a target-rich environment. Atari would return to a cockpit view in 1983 for a space shooter based on Star Wars.
Ah, okay. See, for that I'm wrong. So, Atari Games, which is the coin op for section of Atari, it was owned by it was sold by Time Warner to WMS Industries and made part of Midway Games in 1996. So that company was, and then it was when Midway Games was spun out and Midway Games West. So basically, Atari eventually became Midway, part of Midway, and so I assume that's how he got it, because all those guys, were working for Midway basically.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm not sure. It could be that, or that maybe he was just a collector and just hunted it down. We don't really know.
It could be that too. But I'm just, if it's a prototype or something, more likely that it was just there.
Could be. Skill Sense. Both the upright and cockpit flyers for Red Baron noted Skill Sense technology. If the average length of the most recent games exceeded the operator's target playtime, the game would automatically increase gameplay, speed, and difficulty. Isn't that, well, probably not that exact one, but I remember in Terminator 2, there's a scene where John Connor is at an arcade, and T-1000 is coming after him, and he's in one of these. He's in one of these arcades.
Oh, really?
Exactly identical to that design. Yeah, I don't think it was Red Baron, but it was definitely one. It was definitely one of those style games, and he's like shooting at stuff with the joystick. And then T-1000 comes in and goes, "Have you seen this, boy?"
Yeah, I remember that part, but I don't remember being inside a thing.
Yeah. Alright, so we got the video and we got a game to play here. So we'll watch the video first and then we'll play the game.
Afterburner.
It could have been Afterburner, theoretically.
You got it! You got it! Orbit got it. It is Afterburner. That is exactly what it was.
Oh, you will?
Yep.
Okay. Tempest 2000 or Tempest 4000. I feel like those games, of all of the games, those old games have aged the best. Not Tempest specifically, but the vector-based games, and Tempest just being a really incredibly strong example of a vector-based game because it still looks beautiful.
Aesthetically, I just think
Afterburner.
It's a timeless game. Asteroids is a timeless game.
The old CRTs, the cathode ray tubes, had a beam that would go across the screen very fast, and it would draw the line. So you drew that always.
Oh yeah,
so
Tempest is addictive.
And you could turn on and off the beam or beams if it's colored.
That game is the game that John Connor was playing. That one that they just showed gameplay of. That was one of the ones that he was playing in Terminator 2.
If you want to draw a red line,
Missile Command, yeah.
You put the beam there and
you definitely play Missile Command.
There. So you are actually doing an etch-a-sketch is the best way to think about it.
One of the interesting limitations and why it's so good for space games on Vector is if you don't draw something, the screen is black. It's not kind of sort of gray, it's black.
If the hardware stopped in a coin-op game, the last picture would stay there. If hardware stops in a vector generator, it goes black because you have to draw it. You're drawing the beams. There's no raster. There's nothing automatic in that.
He was playing WarioWare.
I could draw something and I didn't have to worry about it again. If I wanted to move it, I just redrew it over here. Before, you have to erase it from that space and rewrite it over here. Yeah, didn't like that. Too much work.
The limitation isn't how many dots you have, it's how many inches of light you have. And a lot of people really love that white on black look.
You could get these really fine details for the time. I mean, if you go back and look at it now, it's not as high res as you think it is, but the ships and the shots and the way it looked, and you could adjust the brightness on an individual item, that bright shot in Asteroids, for example, and that goes across the screen. There's nothing like that. It's just an amazing look, and I wanted to work on it.
We started with black and white. I worked a little bit on Battlezone when I worked on the simulator, which was after Battlezone came out, but if you remember Battlezone, it was green. Those weren't green lines, that was a green template that was over the top that made it green.
I got color when I did Space Duel, which I took over from another programmer who for some reason just kind of lost it and left the company, and kind of evolved it from what he had started. I wanted more time to work on it, and another programmer was working on Asteroids Deluxe, and I was doing Color Asteroids. That's what I was doing with it. That's what Space Duel originally started as Color Asteroids. And they said, oh, you know, we're not going to do that because Asteroids Deluxe just came out. So they gave the hardware and some of the code I did to Dave Toyer, and he did Tempest. And then some of that came back, and I did Space Duel. So you'll see things that are similar that cross through it.
So Vector Sector was born out of the idea of what if all of Atari's vector games existed in the same universe? And we went from there. It was great to talk to Owen Rubin, who created Major Havoc, Space Duel. And when he played Vector Sector, he got through the asteroids phase, and he got to Lunar Lander, and he was like, oh, you should do this with linked ships. And he didn't know that we'd done that. So that was like a thrill. Also, when we got to the end of the game, we played a linked dual multiplayer game. We got to the end, and he was having a conversation with me. He glanced up, and he saw that we had his initials in the high scores as a default high score. And he just threw out a, oh, thanks. Yeah, thought that was cool.
Okay. All right, so let's hop into Red Baron. It looks like the only one we can play here is Red Baron. Shame we can't play the that gold version of Asteroids, but I guess it's just
it's the same game.
It's the same game.
Yeah.
Red Baron, platform arcade, release year 1981. Take to the vector-filled skies with this World War I action game. Placing players in the cockpit of a biplane, Red Baron is more target shooter than flight simulator. Its airborne military gameplay bridges the gap between two other Atari Vector coin-ops, Battlezone and Star Wars. Alright, so let's head into this.
Oh, cool.
It is, actually. Oh, well, at least I know... Oh, okay, I've already figured out the controls without even needing to look at the controls.
Did you shoot that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you're shooting it. Oh, nice.
What is that, UFO?
It's a blimp or a Zeppelin or something.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Well,
kill the house! Kill the trailer! There we... Oh, I didn't
that's
actually...
Your helicopter blades in front of you. See that? The propeller, I mean. That's your propeller. See the propeller?
Yeah, no, I do, yeah.
That's an awesome effect.
It is.
The visual tilting really adds a lot.
Diamond.
Dorian says the visual tilting really adds a lot.
The tilting is caused by the gamer's grotto's poor piloting.
I'm actually not doing terrible at this. I don't even think I've been hit that many times. Never mind.
No, you're doing great. Behind you, behind you!
Oh, I didn't realize I was playing again. Alright. I got you.
Oh, you got bullets on your screen! That's awesome! On your window.
Yes.
That's so cool. You're doing great, actually. Get that pyramid thing. Oh, look.
Well, I've played a lot of these style of games, modern, obviously. Modern iterations like the X-Wing games and all that kind of shit. Those are the kind of games I grew up with. So I'm not terribly bad at these.
Oh, this is great.
Gun's overheated. All right.
Gun's overheated.
Can never get that Zeppelin though. I got a high score at least.
Great score. Nice.
Change letters with joystick. Nope. I'm hitting the joystick here. No. Oh.
That's easy somehow.
Oh God, it's so delayed. No, you know what? I'm good. It's really delayed switching between. It's like a 2-second delay or something like that. Switching between letters. I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not gonna sit there that long.
Good idea. That's cool though. That was a good game. Was it fun to play? It looked fun.
Yeah, it was. Divisions, coin-op, and consumer. Atari was built on the strength of phenomenal arcade games, but the Atari VCS home console eventually led the company to even greater heights. Atari veterans from both sides of the success story explain how the coin-op and consumer divisions ultimately work together. What are you shitting about?
No, I said even greater heights of shit.
Oh, I see. All right, so let's watch this video, and I by the way, I apologize in advance, viewers, for the audio of the video. Unfortunately, it's not something that I myself can fix. Some of the audio in these videos is just really bad quality, and yeah, I can't really do anything about that. I've tried. I've gone into my settings and stuff like that. Unfortunately, all of my settings are fine, so it's a problem with the actual video itself. So if you do have trouble...
I also want to apologize in advance for the quality of the host. There's nothing I could do about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the co-host as well, yeah. So, but no, jokes aside, if you have trouble hearing the audio in the videos, just turn up your volume, and then once the video ends, turn it back down so that you're not going to blast your eardrums. Thanks. Let's go into this video.
Well, at the beginning, it was sort of forbidden to consort with the enemy.
First off, we had a vibrant coin-op business that was making money and keeping us in business, and coin-op consumer wasn't making anything. I didn't want to screw with that. I did not want to damage that.
There was a door that said, "Don't even think about entering here," and I was like, I work for this company. I opened the door and walked in, and Al turned around and goes, "What are you doing in here? Who the hell are you? Why are you here?" And so I said, "Well, I work for this company. What are you guys doing?"
Oh, and found out I opened the door between the two places. And what's this? And I'm going, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, we became friends.
I was one of the few people in coin-op that spent a lot of time in the consumer group, sort of going back and forth.
I believe that Al Alcorn was sincerely concerned that coin-op would be a distraction on his group, which we're doing a very ambitious project on a very tight schedule.
Other companies like Bally all of a sudden took some of their engineers in coin-op, and first off, I didn't think these were the right kind of engineers to do consumer. It's a different cost accounting, a different culture. Number two, I didn't want to screw with coin-op success.
The arcade games were pretty much in one area, and the consumer people were in another area.
Engineering was upstairs for consumer products. We were downstairs, and I only knew a few of them, you know, and it was because we water skied together.
There really was two separate companies, it felt like, at a time. They had very different development environment. They, you know, there was no synergy between the two, really, other than that we shared games.
I have been known to joke that the point of coin-op games is primarily selling players their own adrenaline. So you want an intense, fast-pitch game, and you'll blame yourself if it's over in 3 minutes, not the game. A person who pays 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks for a cartridge wants to milk that thing. So the games themselves are different.
Every machine is state of the art. It's all new, fresh, challenging stuff, and it's exciting, and it's real design.
Coin-op gets to use more expensive hardware. They get to use tons and tons of hardware, and they get to refresh their hardware all the time, right? So what's happening is the Atari 2600 chip, the 6502, is a chip you could make in 76. Now Moore's Law is cruising along, doubling computer power every 3 years, but we're using a chip from 76.
Whoa.
They didn't turn on his mic? What happened there?
But for me, there was no rivalry. It was, they made games and they were interesting ideas, and a lot of them we were going to have to try and copy.
What happened, though, was as the VCS really started to make distribution and really started to get out there, and some games really started to catch on, it became apparent that the profit potential from the home games was actually much higher than it was in coin-op. So I'll tell you another pecking order sign that goes on, which raises a lot of interesting things, both financially and emotionally, is the idea of royalties. Because one big difference between VCS and coin-op was coin-op people got royalties. They got some kind of bonus participation in the success of their games, which VCS people didn't. That got to be a sore point, not between coin-op and engineering, but between VCS and management. And it's like, why aren't we doing that?
Atari had a bonus plan that was based on how your game sold. And then the consumer group wanted their own bonus plan based on how their game sold. So they would take a game designed by the coin-op that was in the arcade, they'd make a 2600 cartridge out of it, it would do really well, they get big bonuses, and we weren't included at all. So there was this kind of like, wait a minute.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Afterburner. Oh yeah, Tempest is addictive. He was playing WarioWare. The visual tilting really adds a lot.
I apologize, folks. My bot occasionally has brain farts and repeats all of your comments. Unfortunately, that's not something I can fix because I don't work for Sony.
And we were trying to keep up with a technology that was falling farther and farther and farther behind. That's just the reality of it.
They both needed each other, and that's the way most of us looked at it. It was a collaboration, not a competition.
So, one thing I understand about that video, they were talking about how, like, Al Alcord was running the consumer side, which I guess is the side that made the Atari 2600 games, and then some of the people working on coin-op, like in the arcade, were coming over and saying, hey, what the hell are you doing here?
I can randomly repeat things just fine on my own.
She's like, what the hell are you doing here, you dirty arcade game programmers? Get out of here. But Al Alcord himself was the guy that made Pong. So he was a coin-op programmer too, so I don't understand why they'd be so snobby like that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe he was just in a bad mood that day. He just didn't want to say it. Whoops! Didn't mean to do that. Let's go back here. Hit the wrong button. Alright, there we go. Sears has everything! You know, that's damn true. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, Sears was the go-to catalog for all of the Christmas presents. It was always Sears, nothing else. A dominant force in retail sales in the mid-1970s, the annual Sears Wish Book catalog became the de facto gift guide for millions of American kids. As Atari's premier retail partner, Sears sold home Pong and the VCS under their own Telegames brand, along with 3 exclusive VCS games.
Yeah, so the 3 games that Sears put out that were not sold by Atari, which is interesting. They all suck, probably. But
yeah, probably.
Actually, this one's not suck.
Steeplechase, Jim Huther's home version of Lyle Raines' 1975 arcade game, utilized 2 sets of paddle controllers to offer 4-player gaming on the VCS, a rarity in 1980. Players control the speed of their horse with the paddle control, leaping over obstacles as they appear. Here's, I'll just zoom up on this.
I remember people used to have this game back in the day. I used to play it.
You used to have it, or you said friends used to have it?
Friends used to have it. I didn't have it. I was one of those people that, like, my parents, if I was lucky, would buy me the system, but then they would never buy me any games.
I was just seeing.
Go borrow the game from your friend down the block.
I was just seeing if this one had writing on the top from like somebody. Remember the last one was like just the writing of the game name. I figured, you know, if I roll this around up to the top, maybe it says, "Here's your fucking game, you cocksucker. Now leave me alone," or something.
You know, the funny thing is, they scanned that and they didn't like fix it. They just like they didn't know that it was like written by some guy and it wasn't like originally on the box. Like, they could have just easily like airbrush that out. I don't know.
I just don't think they care.
Yeah. But they cared enough to scan it and do a 3D view. You think they would care?
It's a really cool 3D image of an actual scan. So it's I like it, but I mean at the same time it seems a little bit too detailed sometimes. Alternate art. This dynamic illustration by Steve Hendricks for Steeple Chase was ultimately not used in the game's box or manual. It's actually pretty good.
What they would have used if Atari would have released it as an Atari cartridge, they probably used that art. Since they didn't, all the Sears boxes are very boring. You can see that they're sort of boring.
Yeah, they're very basic. Yeah. Stellar Track, a rare text-only game.
Can you guess what that game is supposed to be, just for the name?
I'm assuming it's a space game based on the actual visual on the box.
Well, what does stellar mean? Like what is?
Yeah, it's Star Trek. I get it.
Yeah, it's Star Trek.
A rare text-only game for the VCS, Stellar Track is based on a strategy game that was popular mainframe computer game, inspired by a popular sci-fi TV show that we're not going to explain because players explore quadrants in space, managing their starship's resources while engaging with enemies that they find on the star map.
I streamed the mainframe game they're talking about, the Star Trek. Remember that shitty game?
Is that supposed to be like? That's the discount Enterprise, I'm assuming. That's the dollar store.
You're not going to believe how bad
Enterprise.
This game is, by the way. You're not going to. I'm just telling you in advance. You're not going to believe how bad this game is. Like you imagine how bad you could think it is, and I promise you it'll be worse.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll see because we're going to end up playing it in a second anyway.
I know. Actually, hey, you keep going, but I'm going to get some more soda, but keep on going.
All right. Read it like Shatner. Become the commander of your starship. Starfleet has assigned you the mission of destroying the alien warships. You can use your phasers and photons to fire on the enemy. You have limited stardates and limited energy to complete your mission. All right, anyway, let's go on to the next game. Submarine Commander. Through a periscope view, Submarine Commander players must sink enemy ships while managing limited resources and avoiding enemy depth charges. As the last Sears exclusive to appear, Submarine Commander is the rarest of the three. Well, thankfully none of these have, like, questionable things on any of the scans. Because that would be awkward. Alternate art. Despite one crew member's enthusiasm, Robert Hunt's original artwork for Submarine Commander was ultimately not used in the game's final box or manual. Well, that's a shame. That looks like really good art. I'm surprised that wasn't used. Alright, so we'll start at the very first game and we'll go down. So we'll play Steeple Chase first. Steeple Chase, platform Atari 2600, release year 1981. In a VCS rarity, 4 players can race each other simultaneously in this equestrian title based on an early Atari coin-op. Paddle controllers adjust the speed of each horse, while hurdles on the track inevitably create... Indie games existed even back then. Oh, that's my bot's doing that again. Okay. Inevitably create chaos and sudden reversals in fortune. Good Lord, what is with me tonight? All right. Let's look at the instruction manual.
This game can play up to 4 players, but only one player.
Meet the video game horses. They got a bio for the horses? Is this what? Oh, they do. Okay. All right. Hi there. Welcome to the Video Arcade Stables. It's time for you to meet the lively thoroughbreds waiting inside the game cartridge. This spirited bunch of hoofers never miss a race. In the lane at the top of the playfield is Little Dictator. I've already What is that name? Okay, fine. Little Dictator has a mean streak that surfaces every now and then. Once after losing a race, he ate the entire grandstands. How do you eat an entire grandstand? Damn. Right? Just missed? Okay. The horse in the next lane was aptly named Just Missed. Just missed every race he had ever entered before coming to our stables. Now he's as dependable as a horse could be. He doesn't win every race, but he never misses one.
Does he win any races?
My bot went kind of hiccuped there. What was being said?
I said Dorian said they look like malformed donkeys.
They do look like malformed donkeys. They do not look like horses. They look like they're malnourished, possibly, and slightly mentally ill. Absent mind occupies the third lane down. He tends to forget things occasionally. One time during a race, he completely forgot what he was supposed to be doing and ended up selling programs to the spectators lined up at the railing. Okay. The horse at the bottom lane of the playfield is the pride and joy of the video arcade stables. Lucky Devil is his name. He's become so wealthy from winning races that he now lives at the infamous Horse Heaven penthouse. At Horse Heaven, he sleeps in a hoof-shaped waterbed, dines regularly on caviar-flavored oats and carrots, and drinks champagne while lounging in his Gucci loafers and satin dinner jacket. So he's Hugh Hefner?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're implying, right?
None of these descriptions are selling me on these horses as capable racers.
Yeah, right? I don't know which horse to pick. They all sound mentally challenged. Okay.
You just need a paddle controller. How can you use a paddle controller on this PlayStation?
You can't. No, this is the original game manual. This is not the manual for the PlayStation version.
Yes.
Alright, controls. Increased jump height is left, decreased jump height is right. That wouldn't it be the other way around? Why would you? Okay.
You think it'll be up and down.
Right? It's so odd. Jump is X, select. Okay. Do you say you've beaten this game?
No, I said who made this game? I'm just curious now.
Somebody who doesn't know how to make games, I guess. Which one is my horse?
I don't know. Probably the top one. Lyle V. Reigns made it.
Actually, none of them are my horse because that was in a demo mode. What's going on here? Select as L1. This is weird.
So this game was also in the arcade apparently. So I'm surprised we don't have the arcade version here too.
What am I selecting?
Just go to 1. Just go to 1. That's the game variation. Just stay at 1.
Okay, but this is still not making any sense because I'm not able to control the horse. Like, these guys are all jumping themselves. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. Oh, wait, I'm the bottom. I'm the guy at the bottom.
You're the guy at the bottom.
Yeah, I see that.
I can tell because he was hitting the hurdles.
Yeah, I can tell already because I'm not timing my jumps at all.
I almost got that one. Jump a little bit later. Jumping too early.
No, I was hitting the wrong button.
There you go. If you actually win this race, I mean it is. Go! Go, you son of a bitch! Holy shit, you're winning. No, 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 go, 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 go! Go! They all suck, it looks like. That's your only saving grace, the other horses suck too.
Well, I mean, did you see their descriptions? I had no faith in them from the start. I don't even know what horse I'm playing as. Like
Well,
it
the
doesn't.
bottom one must be.
No. Name wise, what horse am I playing?
Oh, you
right?
dumb shit, lazy fuck.
Dumb shit.
Dumb shit, lazy fuck. I think.
Dumb shit, lazy fuck. This is my prized horse. His name's Dumb Shit Lazy Fuck. I'm telling you, he's the best. He's the best racer I've ever had. I'm telling you, he races to the bathroom and back.
Yay! I think you won.
Did the game crash? What just happened? Oh, there's no.
Because it was 3 minutes.
There is no.
Probably playing as little Adolf Stalin or whatever he was called.
Little Adolf Stalin.
Little dictator. It was little dictator. Always just said to the glue factory with a lot of them. That's funny.
I mean, he's not wrong. All right.
You ever play Toonstruck? You play that game, right?
Of course, I have it. I have the original disc.
You know how that there's like the horse, and then like when it goes to like becomes like Malevolent or whatever, like it turns into a thing of glue.
Yeah, the horse, Elmer the horse. Is that what you're talking about? The horse in there,
right? Exactly.
That they turn him into glue.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
Anyway. What happened to Elmer? Never mind. It's fine. Here's some glue. Just don't ask about Elmer.
Take the glue. Right.
Take the glue. Stellar Track platform Atari 2600, release year 1981. Based on mainframe computer games that were themselves inspired by the TV series Star Trek, Stellar Track is a rare text-only game for the VCS. The display shares stats. The display shares.
Before you click on it, you gotta imagine the worst possible thing you can imagine.
All right. The display shares stats and status updates as players navigate the galaxy and eliminate alien threats under time and fuel constraints. Reading the manual is recommended.
Star Trekking across.
Where we're going, we don't need instruction manuals. No, might as well. History of the interstellar. History of the interstellar conflict. It is 2,000 years since the unification of our planet, and we Terrans have peacefully excelled in art, philosophy, and science. Our technology has mastered all but one problem: the hyper warp drive, which would enable us to travel to other planets. Trapped in our own solar system for lack of the hyper warp drive, there seems to be no way out until we are discovered by extraterrestrial life. That seems like such a defeatist attitude. Well, we could make a hyper warp drive, but we're just going to wait until we get annihilated by extraterrestrial life. I think that's more suitable.
First, I guess.
These aliens are anxious to trade their hyperwarp technology for Terran art and science to revitalize their stagnant culture. Whoever wrote this is terrible. Is it Phasors? Okay, as time passes, we Terrans expand our empire through interstellar trade and the use of hyperwarp technology. And increasingly, the Terrans and aliens compete over the riches in the universe. We develop phased energy weapons, phasors, and force shields, while the aliens insist on escorting their merchant envoys with warships. Tension begins to grow. The Terran government, directed by the House of Viceroys, decides to build an indestructible star fleet and 2 galactic star bases to ensure cosmic military supremacy with the invention of a deadly photon launcher and the virtual invisibility of the star bases. Their location is a closely guarded secret. We Terrans feel that a single super warship can keep the scattered alien fleet in check. You are the captain and sole commander of that warship. While the Viceroys are relaxing and confident of our military superiority, the Alien Council of Elders rule that the Terran culture has to be destroyed. This is to be done before aliens.
Joe Biden is relaxing at the beach.
This is to be.
Well, Joe Biden's relaxing at the beach and Donald Trump's at the golf course.
There you go. Let me tell you something. I'm not getting involved in these alien wars, okay? I have enough wars I got to deal with, all right?
I don't know if you saw this recently. He was on a talk show and somebody asked him, like, just share.
Yeah, I saw
Someone
that.
asked him, is it true that there's aliens in Area 51? That's somebody asked him.
And what did he
he's
say?
like, well, I don't think it's true, but like, there's a lot of really smart, good people that have told me that they've seen aliens, and like, I don't know what to believe anymore, or something like that. So I found that interesting. I figured
he would have said something like, "Let me tell you something, okay? I believe in aliens. You know why? You know why I believe in aliens? I'll tell you why. Because my wife. If you look at her, I swear to God, she's an alien, okay?"
Or could have said like Kamala Harris an alien or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's check out this wonderful piece of crap, as you told me. So menu left, menu right, action, generate mission parameters. Okay, so left, right, X, and L1. Pretty basic controls already.
And the first step is
Starfleet to Starship Commander. Your mission is to destroy 11 alien warships in the 17th Stardates. Okay.
That's impressive reading. That's impressive. Like, how'd you read that shit? It looks horrible.
What?
It looks horrible. How can you?
Text. The text looks fine to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You should open up the YouTube video and look at it on YouTube for a second.
Okay. What? Why does it look? Does it look compressed?
No, you gotta see it.
All right, hold up. You got me curious now.
I'm like amazed it's not what you see. Your local view must be better.
Oh damn! Why is it all broken up like that? No, it does not look like that on my end. That looks like Klingon language on the YouTube channel. That's interesting.
I know, it's horrible.
No, for me, I can read it just fine.
I was like, how do you read that? Oh my gosh, that's great. It's like regular Commander Uhura here.
There we go. I'm a linguist. Yeah. Command Galaxy Map. All right.
So you want to do like a short range scan or a long range scan if you can.
Short range scan. Okay, so there's the not Enterprise, and there's I'm assuming those are stars, and then there's a Klingon warship. They're not even attempting to even. You figure that they make. If this is not supposed to be Star Trek, you'd figure that they designed the ships a little bit better.
Yeah, raise your shields. Put your shields up.
33 unit hit from alien at sector 18.
2,967 left? What? Is that how many aliens there are left?
The agony of defeat.
Raise your shields.
They look like malformed donkeys. None of these descriptions are selling me on these horses as capable racers.
I'm not able to raise my shields.
With a lot of them.
It's a short range.
Probably trained as little Adolf Stalin or whatever he was called.
Use my phasers?
Yeah.
Oh shit! What was his coordinates? Like.
You don't have to put coordinates in for phasers. I don't think. Just put in like 500 or something. Whoa, okay, that was a little bit overkill there. You blew up the whole star system. Alright, so now do long range scan.
I don't. Oh, there we go.
So
I don't know what I'm looking.
1,6. So you're in 1,6, I guess, which is the bottom of the bottom left. So you can see around you. You're at the edge of the galaxy, so you can only see like around you are all zeros, nothing there. So like you basically learn nothing interesting. You gotta now fly your ship into some other area that's not inhabited, so you can like.
So I go to Galaxy Map,
so, like,
or do I go to Warp?
No, go to Warp. Go to Warp.
Warp
course. I don't know which course. I'll try course 2, but I'm not sure what it will do in this game. And factor 4. 4.0.
Apparently Captain Kirk just farted.
I don't know the directions that this game uses. You have to look at the manual to see the direction. I thought 2 would be like diagonally up and to the right.
I've already lost complete interest. I'd rather play Star Trek 25th Anniversary.
I told you it was a bad game, though. Was I wrong?
No, it's not that it's... I think it could have been a good game, but it's just the entire control layout is just stupid. It just looks dumb. I feel sorry for whoever bought it. So we got one more to play here. Submarine Commander. Submarine Commander platform Atari 2600. Release year 1982. A 360-degree periscope view from beneath the waves elevates Submarine Commander's target shooting gameplay. Managing limited fuel and torpedoes increases tension further. The faux 3D perspective is an early example of first-person gameplay on consoles. Alright. Move up, down, left, right, and fire torpedo. Alright. Let's see what the instruction manual looks like. So, hold up. Oh no, that's the graphic they went with, because the other, because the other one, they were saying that the other one was not gone with. So interesting that they went with the shittier looking art for the game, and the good looking art they scrapped. Kind of odd.
This is interesting because this is like a first person view, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. It's through the periscope. It's through the periscope.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you are the captain of a ship, and it's your job to protect your country. Your modern submarine is equipped with many new features to help you. The control panel includes a radar scope, a sonar depth charge detector, status indicators, a fuel readout, an engine temperature gauge, and of course, torpedoes. Since you're the commander, you are at the helm. It's up to you to guide the submarine. You'll use your periscope to scan the ocean and detect enemy vessels. When you spot the enemy, launch a torpedo. Destroy their ships before they destroy your submarine. Be on the lookout for dangerous depth charge attacks. A depth charge hit could mean serious damage to your submarine. Your submarine is equipped with limited supplies, especially fuel. Keep a constant watch on your fuel and energy levels. Every maneuver costs you fuel. When the fuel runs out, your mission is over. We know you can handle the job, so good luck, Commander. Every move uses fuel, so if I want to fire a torpedo, it uses fuel? Like, what do they mean by that? I think they mean every move is in... every time you move the sub. I hope.
Sure.
Otherwise, this game is going to be over pretty damn quickly. Alright, so 20 points to hit... 20 points to hit the Titanic. Okay, alright.
That bottom looks like a whale.
The middle one...
Maybe they're trying to say it's like a game where you're not supposed to rush, you're supposed to take your time and figure it out. I don't know.
Maybe. How do I start? It's just... okay, alright.
Ooh. Well, you hit something. You didn't blow it up, you hit it.
The fisherman. He was taking his son fishing, and I just blew a hole into his fucking boat.
This game looks like shit. You're like your time, like your energy's ticking away like an incredibly fast rate here.
Okay.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just kind of like mass. Do you see what I'm talking about? Look at the original art for this game. See that? See the original art?
Yeah.
And they scrapped this one.
Yeah, that's so much better.
Right?
That's why.
Let's go with the shitty one instead. Evelyn Seto and the Art of Atari.
Oh man.
Graphic designer. Graphic designer Evelyn Seto was among the few Atari employees to work in both coin-op and consumer divisions. In this interview, she recalls designing arcade marquees, creating the Atari 2600's retail packaging, and inking the iconic Fuji logo itself. What are you doing, Sue?
I'm opening up something while I'm listening.
What? Well, no, because it's coming through really loud on your mic.
Oh, sorry. I'll mute it if I do it again.
Alright. So we'll look at all the stuff here, and then we'll watch Evelyn's video. It looks like there's more than... Oh, no. These are all... Okay. Evelyn Seto, then Evelyn Lim, in Atari's art department circa late 1970s. A team effort. Evelyn Seto, George Opperman, and Bob Flamette review back glass artwork for the 1977 Atari pinball machines, Airborne Avenger.
Cool. Definitely looks like the 70s.
At work for Atari, Evelyn Seto's early 1980s workspace at Atari was decorated with some of her packaged designs. She looks so annoyed there. She's like, why are you taking my photo? I didn't ask for you to take my photo. I'm just sitting here trying to have lunch, you bastards.
Yeah, it's why some creepy guy took the photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there any photos from Atari? Like, oh yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
I snuck into the lunchroom while she was eating lunch, and I took her picture. It was supposed to be her back, but she turned.
Alright, anyway. Evelyn Seto and the Art of Atari. So let's go into this video.
My name is Evelyn Seto. I was a graphic designer at Atari, both in the coin-operated division and the consumer division. I majored in graphic design while I was in college, and when I finished, I went back to LA and helped in my family's business, which was a restaurant business. And when I returned, a friend of mine was working at Omber and Harrington, and she was moving on to another position. And so she had me interview with George Opperman, and I was able to come on board on his staff as a production artist. During that time, which is when I started with George, it was the early 70s, and Silicon Valley was just barely a term that was barely coming up. Nolan Bushnell had his company Syzygy, a gaming company, and he needed to change the name of the company. George Farraco, one of his colleagues, suggested that he speak to George Opperman. So I remember them coming in, and George he took on the assignment of redesigning the logo for Syzygy. And they gave him the name Atari. And so, I remember George doodling on his desk. Yeah, he was just doing little doodles, and from there, he maybe selected a few of them to show Nolan, and they picked the one that they did, which is the one with the Fuji and the Atari. And back then, everything was done by hand. There was no computers. Everything was you had to ink, and you had to spec type and order type, and then paste it all up on a board. So yeah, everything was kind of handcrafted back then. And so yeah, that was my first position, was with George doing production art. And so once they decided on which one they were going to do, I got the assignment of ordering the type and inking the Fuji. So that was my first jobs in working with Atari, was to ink that Fuji. Nolan liked names that started with A's because they were at the front of the alphabet. And because also at the time Pong was our main product, the main product. Now George says he liked the idea of it sweeping because the Pong blip would sweep, right? So that's George's. There are people who attribute that to George. George Farraco doesn't believe that was true. But so I honestly don't know where it came from, because obviously he didn't tell me. He just said, here, ink this up. So part of it is probably an A, and part of it is the sweep.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. They look like malformed donkeys. None of these descriptions are selling me on these horses as capable racers. To the glue factory with the lot of them. You're probably playing as little Adolf Stalin or whatever he was called.
And I left in '72, and so George probably continued working with Atari at the time. I had moved on to another company.
When my bot started repeating stuff, and when she was talking about the logo, and it repeated, "They look like little donkeys to me," I was like, "What?" I was like, "How does that logo look like a little donkey?"
If I would be interested in doing that. I kind of thought,
really
thought of
actually.
it as a placeholder, actually. I wasn't sure how long I would do this, and not being that familiar with the company. But anyway, I said, okay, you know.
So in case you guys didn't notice, I did add subtitles at the bottom. It's not because there's only subtitles on her because she's Asian or anything like. I don't want you guys thinking that. I actually turned that on because a lot of you were saying that the audio wasn't the greatest on these videos. So I turned that on for you guys to be able to hear what everybody's saying.
George himself was an illustrator as well as a designer, as well as a marketing guy, as well as a copywriter. So he would write all the copy, and he would write all the promotional materials for Atari. So he was an in-house advertising agency. Because I wasn't an illustrator, so the things that didn't require illustration, he would I would work on some of those, or I would collaborate with one of the illustrators. I might come up with a concept, and then one of the illustrators would design the graphic for me, like in Superbug or in Golf. Bob Flamani was the artist on those particular pieces, and so, but the concept of how it the general concept might be mine, but then
This is not something I usually care too much about, like who did the art, but I guess some people care about it.
Unusual because a lot of graphic designers are not.
You know why this is going to be like a 10-minute video? I can tell you why. It's because of the way she's talking. You realize she had like a 5-minute hesitation when she was remembering who came up to her with what to color. She's like, so it was it was George. And I'm like, okay, now I understand why the video is 10 minutes.
Why don't they edit
take
one, now
yeah, they didn't.
Two,
There is no way any of this was edited. There is no way. It's just like, that's fine. What is this, a 3-hour video? Sure, that's fine. People want to watch a 3-hour video about the creation of the Atari logo. Why not? Yeah.
That's the same picture they showed before.
Go us. Yeah, I know.
Oh, she looks so different back then. It's interesting.
Yes, it's called aging. Yes.
I know.
The company grew, and I stayed there for a couple of years, and ultimately decided that I had an opportunity.
I feel like she's telling her whole life story, though. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, I think when they asked, how did you come up with the Atari logo? And she's like, well, when I was born and I came out of my mother's womb. I'm like, okay, lady, I don't think we're asking that, but fair enough.
Exactly.
She also does, now I notice this a lot, and this is me being all nitpicky, but I always used to do this when I watched Star Trek The Next Generation. So, Jonathan Frakes, he hesitates a lot when he talks. And I always picked up on it. He'd be like, we're gonna go here, and she's doing the exact same thing. Every few seconds she's going, and so that's the 5-minute hesitation at the beginning plus this is probably why the video is 10 minutes.
And so
I mean, she's not an actress, but they should have directed her a little better.
Look at what we could do with it. The video computer system was sort of a generic name, and so we decided to maybe focus on blowing up the name Atari. So we made some mock-ups to do that. Basically, on a product shelf, you've got 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention. We banded the box with Atari with the number of the game system and we created some packaging and took it to a store to see how it would stand up next to the competition. And at the time, Odyssey was out, Magnavox, or Coleco. There were other game systems out there, and they were.
I think I remember seeing some Magnavox ads from back in the day. I think you can see them on YouTube, and I swear to God, James Earl Jones was like the narrator for the Magnavox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was the original creator. Creator. No, I think he was the original narrator for the Magnavox commercials. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. I know that William Shatner did like the VIC-20 ads.
Star Wars came out, and so we thought, well, gee, the space age was coming about, and so maybe we should look at maybe color isn't the way to go. So they wanted to see what else we could do to make it look more space agey. So we came up with the silver concept of the packaging, and ultimately that's the way we went. At the time, our cartridge boxes were all real colorful and rainbow. The rainbow stripes seemed to be sophisticated enough and give it some color. And so from
it's like a history of all Atari packaging, basically.
It went underneath the silver band on all the boxes, so it seemed to work for that. And I think that was sort of a nod.
Yeah, but the question was, how did you come up with the Atari logo? I don't know. Why is she talking about the boxes and everything? She's talking about like everything. I'm sorry, did I misunderstand you? I thought you meant how did I come up with everything at Atari?
Don't you meant like what's everything I've done in my entire life?
Wow. Is it? Oh, wow. Can I have my money back? I don't want. Yeah. This. Can I have my? Can I have my refund for my movie ticket that I went to see this amazing Hollywood movie at? All right.
Well, I'll 10 minutes back. You keep the money. Give my 10 minutes.
Box Arts Concepts. One concept Atari explored for its retail redesign included a grid design, and Evelyn created concept art for matching cartridge boxes. The grid concept was ultimately employed on a handful of family-friendly 2600 titles late in the console's life. So she totally stole that. She totally stole that design from Star Wars.
Is that a prototype? Because what kind of weird language is that?
It looks like it was done in AI art.
Yeah, what the heck? I don't understand.
Is that AI? Did they use AI art to redesign these packages? I feel like that's what that is.
This is Breakout, but it doesn't say Breakout. It says like some weird shit on the top there.
Yeah, that's AI. This is
clouds of balloons.
This is AI generated. I promise you. Denied. What?
Why did they do AI? This is like Indy 500, I think.
Well, there's no way that these aren't concept art. They wouldn't be. So they're saying it's concept art, but that's AI. That's AI generated.
So why would they lie?
I don't know.
I'm so confused. It was also AI generated?
No, probably not. Alternate Atari logos. Atari's art department, led by George Opperman, created several options for the Atari logo before landing on the now iconic Fuji logo. Some of these concepts built upon the company's earlier name, Syzygy Engineering.
This looks horrible compared to the Atari logo. Like, it's so complicated. The first one.
What is that one?
I don't know.
There we go.
Oh, that's Atari logo.
Yeah, that's the original design. Yeah, that one looks. See, the final one they went with is the best one. The Atari 3200. Evelyn Seto's design concepts for a refreshed Atari 2600 retail box, as well as the never-issued 3200 and the 3600 Super System, which became the Atari 5200.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Packaging. Evelyn Seto designed the silver packaging for the Atari 2600 and 5200, creating a bold and simple visual distinction between Atari's offerings on store shelves.
Really funny. I watch some interviews now with some other people who were there. Like, yeah, man, Evelyn would never stop talking. Like, I had to run from her every day because she started telling us a story and she never would stop. Like, that's what I was saying. Seriously.
Oh my God, Stu.
Right? I mean, yeah. That's probably the truth.
Voice controller boxes. A co-creation with toy manufacturer Milton Bradley, the Atari 2600 voice controller never materialized, but Evelyn conceptualized boxes for 2 of its planned titles, Star Raiders and Baseball. Why would you need voice activate? Okay. The baseball one, Star Raiders makes sense. Baseball doesn't.
Right.
A bridge
when
from...
you say baseball, like, run! Run!
Yeah.
Run!
Hit the damn ball, you bastard!
A bridge from the arcade to home. Enjoying success both in the arcade and at home.
Hey, swing and a miss. Let me tell you, this guy doesn't play ball. He plays with my balls. He's pissing me off.
Alright, anyway. Enjoying success both in the arcade and at home, Atari combined the two by converting its own arcade hits for the VCS. What's more, it licensed coin-op competitors like Space Invaders, Defender, and Berserk as exclusive offerings for its home machines, helping Atari maintain market leadership for years. Berserk. As pinball's popularity waned, manufacturers like Bally, Gottlieb, and Stern expanded their scope to offer video arcade games as well. Stern Electronics' Berserk, which trapped players in endless mazes of killer robots, became the company's biggest video hit.
Have you ever played Berserk?
No, but I'm going to because it's apparently playable.
The weird thing is that this is not even an Atari game. This is Stern Electronics. I wonder how they got this playable.
Promotional flyer. Berserk's robotic voice yelling intruder alert and coin detected in pocket in arcades taunted passing players. Berserk's promotional flyer notes that the game contains 30 phrases and 64,000 randomly generated mazes.
It's a pretty iconic game.
Look at this.
It's like, you know...
Chicken, fight like a robot. How are we going to get out of this one?
Hold on. You never played this game?
No, I've never played it.
That sounds exactly like it sounds. That's usually
for the 2600.
This is a perfect impression of the game. That sounds exactly like what it sounds like.
Is that what it sounds like? Like a 1970s robot?
That's exactly what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Kill the humanoid, get the humanoid, intruder must not die.
Yeah, basically, yes.
You'll see. Fair enough. No, I've never played it, I promise. Alright, let's hop into it. Berserk Platform Arcade, release year 1980. Berserk featured some of the first synthesized speech heard in arcades, from enemy robots crowing, get the humanoid, get the intruder, to taunting losing players with chicken, fight like a robot, as the lone human in a maze of killer androids. The player is kept in a state of tension by the claustrophobia-inducing levels, while procedurally generated mazes keep every game fresh. Would help if I. Oh, I see. Let's look at the controls. Okay, up, down, left, right, fire up. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
You fucking suck. I'm going to kick your ass.
Maybe you should have bought a Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay.
Oh, by the way, be careful.
What?
He said it's an attack all humans. Watch out! That guy you can't kill. You can't kill that guy. You can't kill that guy.
I heard you.
Leave. You have to get to the exit.
Oh,
You
the
just
X
go
is
straight for you.
the X is down there. I thought it was up.
No, the first, the top. It's the top of the work tree. There's multiple exits.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's try this.
When that dude shows up, you have to leave. Oh, good job.
So basically, when the Walmart logo shows up, I have to run away.
Yeah, his name is Evil Otto. And you can't go out that way because that door's locked.
It's a
But
shame.
That guy can go through the walls.
It's a shame they don't sound like Daleks. You are the doctor. The doctor must be exterminated.
Well, Orbit excuse it, they sound like Cylons.
Cylons. Yeah, they do. They do sound like Cylons. Oh, god damn it.
The walls are deadly.
How did I get a high score from
I
that?
can't tell you that.
Oh, this actually...
There's nobody else on the machine.
This actually works. No, but I mean... Shut up. You know what I mean.
I know, but I'm just saying, it probably wasn't... Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you
no
go.
scores on that.
Well, that was actually enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. Do you guys want?
It's a classic game.
Should I redo another round? You think? Or
you try one more time because you,
right.
you sucked it up so bad the first time. Try one more time. You have to reset the game. You're worse than my mom.
Intruder alert, chicken. Fight like a robot.
Like, I would fight like the robot if the game wasn't so cheap. Those are the guys who go through walls. Don't go in there, like, don't go to the dead ends, because you'll get stuck in there.
well, but isn't the goal to kill as many robots as possible to get a high score though?
Yeah, it is, but like, don't trap yourself. You can shoot in there, and I'm not saying you just run through, like, don't leave until, like, you have to, but, like, don't put yourself in a position where you're trapped.
Son of a bitch. Not gonna lie, this is actually I do enjoy this one. Not doing very good at it, but I am.
To be fair, this is the first game we've played so far that's not made by Atari. So
Maybe
I'm not sure what
that's
to say about that.
maybe that's why I'm enjoying it. I'm not putting in my high score again for that. All right. Anyway, we got a lot more games still to do, so let's continue on. The Battles of Berserk. From an arcade hit to a fantastic home port, Berserk's legacy is filled with danger, action, and at least one disturbing urban legend. Oh. Let's look at this first. Death by Berserk? On April 3rd, 1982, 18-year-old Peter Bukowski played Berserk at Friar Tuck's game room in Calumet City, Illinois, then collapsed and died shortly thereafter. Coroners determined an undiagnosed heart condition was to blame for his passing, not Evil Otto. But facts cannot stop urban legends. Is this going to be an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, this video? Robert Stack comes out in 1982.
The main theme of Berserk, as I understand it, and as I've always understood it, is basically you're one of the last humans trying to escape this prison inhabited by robots. Because there's this character in the game called Evil Otto, and he bounces at you with this smiley face, but it's so sinister because all he's really trying to do is just pulverize you to like nothing. And he comes at you so aggressively. Even back in the day, the story got around really fast that somebody died playing Berserk.
The rumblings of rumors when it got out, like, oh my gosh, someone died while playing Berserk. They must have, I don't know if the game shot back at them, I don't know what happened.
I think that added to the mystique of the game, because could this game kill you? But in reality, as far as I understand, it was somebody who actually had a heart condition who happened to be playing Berserk when an episode occurred, but that, of course, got embellished to this game will kill you.
I remember Berserk coming out for the 2600, and I was very impressed. The characters were very simple, but moved exactly like the arcade. The gameplay was great. I thought it was a one of the great Atari cartridges, up there with Space Invaders in that time frame of arcade ports.
One of my favorite games on the 2600 happened to be Berserk. I thought it was really well produced. It didn't look like other Atari games where they flickered a lot. The characters were really solid. Everything looked great, and it was a really great representation of the arcade game.
Yeah, the gameplay was well tweaked, which is not given the credibility that it should. The amount of tweaking that the gameplay requires to make it excellent game, to make it truly great game, it's unappreciated.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I was learning, or basically teaching myself how to program the Atari 2600, as one does, I started to dabble with audio, and I had seen somebody had replicated synthesized voice on the 2600. And so that kind of occurred to me that it would be really cool to take that approach and that concept and apply it to Berserk to have the perfect version of Berserk for the Atari 2600. That set in motion my desire to just like pursue relentlessly putting voice into 2600 Berserk. And then my understanding of the arcade game is there's a specific speech synthesis chip that was used for the game. And to compare that to the 2600, there's no such thing on the 2600. And so in order to get speech to even sound similar to that chip, you have to apply all of Atari 2600's resources to it. So in order to get the sample to play back fast enough, you have to do things like don't display the screen. So the screen goes black so you can get a cleaner and more audible sound out of the processor, the sound processor. Some of the changes that I had applied to the game early on were mostly palette related and some graphical changes. Also added a title screen. I always felt that like later Atari 2600 games that had title screens were really cool, so I wanted to feel like those. But ultimately that was where my work ended. But then the community hopped in after that release, and Dennis DeBro particularly found out by disassembling the game that there was actually code for the robots to shoot diagonally like in the arcade game. I found it fascinating that after I dabbled a little bit with Berserk to watch other people go in and find all these other things within the source code that I missed completely, and started to apply that to like what would become ultimately Berserk voice enhanced.
So, I just want to say, like, I don't really understand the concept of this. So, like, basically, Berserk came out of the Atari 2600, and basically they're saying in this video, like, it wasn't as good, it didn't have the voices, it had some other issues. But Berserk also came out of the Atari 5200, and that one did have voices. So why do you go to so much trouble to make a version like today that has a slightly better port, when you can play like the version of the 5200, which is better, or you could just also like play the arcade port, like in whatever, an emulator or in a collection or something. Like, why the need to play on the 2600 specifically? I never really got that, to be honest. But
yeah,
some people do that, I guess.
Doesn't really make any sense.
Was there an option to play Berserk?
Jesus, how long? We're gonna be here for a bit.
We have to pause it, but like, was there an option to play the Atari 2600 Berserk? I think it's supposed to be part of this collection.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah, we just
Patience, young grasshopper. We have not arrived there yet.
Sorry.
Take your time.
Sorry.
No worries. Frenzy, the sequel to Berserk. Frenzy delivers new enemies and an interesting change to the terrain. Some walls can be destroyed, while other walls ricochet shots, meaning the player can actually shoot themselves. Maybe that's what happened to the guy who died of a heart attack. He actually just shot himself.
Well, maybe one of the people play this collection shot themselves. I'm just kidding.
Promotional flyer. Frenzy's flyer notes that while Evil Otto is still indestructible in the sequel to Berserk, 3 bullets will stun him, giving the player a chance to escape. So you never told me that, Stu. I could have been shooting the guy. Berserk. Bringing arcade hits home became a critical element of Atari's VCS success. Stern's arcade hit Berserk, programmed for the home by Dan Hitchens, became one of the console's most visually accurate translations. I thought his name was Kitchen. Or was that somebody else?
Kitchen.
So they misspelled his.
Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's somebody else. Dan Hitchens. I've never heard of that guy.
Cover art. Hiro Kimura created this illustration that would serve as the Atari 2600 box art.
Yeah.
It's Luke Groundrunner.
Yeah, original is another guy named Dan Hitchens.
Original artwork. Artist Hiro Kimura created this ominous scene of Evil Otto commanding an army of relentless robots. It was used inside the Berserk instruction manual. Welcome to Mazion. This ad from Atari Age magazine promoting Berserk's home release notes that the game's action takes place on the planet Mazion, where pulse-pounding danger waits around every corner. Playing the angles. Oh, I should enlarge that for you guys. Oh, look at that ad at the bottom. We have all the terrific Atari cartridges. The Atari Club is the place to play every game.
That was like some mail order club that you can like order stuff by mail.
No, I know. You told me before when we streamed the other parts of this.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Playing the angles. Among the excellent readers submitted strategies for Berserk in this page from Atari Age, Art Collins notes that Evil Otto cannot catch players if they run away diagonally.
Ooh. I know that.
Berserk Voice Enhanced. Determined to make the 2600 version of Berserk even more arcade accurate, programmer Mike Mika added speech to the game while also adjusting the colors to better match the coin-op. Originally released in 2002, the version presented here is Mike's final revision.
Wait, why would you play this first before you play the actual Atari 2600 version?
You want me to play this one first? Okay. Let's look at the box first.
Play the other one first.
Play which one? The Atari 2600 version?
The original Atari 2600 version, yeah.
Okay. So, hold on. Let's look at these reviews on the back. Oh no, I thought those were reviews. Never mind.
Just text, yeah.
Just text. Alright, so you want me to play this one first then?
Yeah.
Okay. Berserk, platform Atari 2600, release year 1980. While the 2600 version of Berserk lacks the famous speech samples of its arcade inspiration, its programmer Dan Hitchens captured the look and feel of the coin-op exceptionally well. Unlike in the arcade versions, players can actually destroy the bouncing smiley face Evil Otto in certain modes.
Evil Otto was apparently named after some guy. Like, I forget the story. Like he was a manager or something.
Oh, the controls.
Somebody's boss.
The controls are totally different for this one.
You got them all though.
Well,
much less of them. That's why.
I mean, the last one walked into a wall, so obviously these guys aren't very, very intelligent. Exterminate! Exterminate! Oh, there's a wall!
By the way, you know what's interesting about this version? You notice like your head is not connected to your body?
He's just wearing a scarf.
Well, no. If they shoot you like in between your head and your body, it won't hit you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, like a gap in the sprite. Is that it? I guess that's it.
Alright.
Good job.
I get the idea.
What do you think of that compared to the arcade? Less fun?
I mean, it's more or less the same, except, you know, obviously older and less enhanced. But I don't necessarily well, I should have read that first. Hang on. Berserk voice enhanced, driven. Oh no, we already did read this. Never mind. Let's actually go into this. Yeah, we read it before. The laser is a lot faster too in this enhanced version. I don't hear any voices though.
It's only after you leave the screen, I guess, or die.
Right, they did mention that actually. What? I don't even know what they said.
What he said.
Humanoid mustard?
Humanoid something. I don't know what he said either.
Humanoid mustard sauce? I don't know.
Intruder alert. It's not
Yeah.
very good speech.
No, it's...
That guy just shot like two of his friends. I don't know if you saw that. What?
I have no idea what the last thing was that they said.
Who's it? Ha ha? I don't know. What? What? I thought it was doing a stretchy thing right next to the guy. The humanoid. Blah, 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 blah.
Did they get Arnold Schwarzenegger to the voice the robots?
Humanoid, fight like a robot. Fight like a robot, damn it.
Humans, that is not your cookie.
I'm not very impressed with the speech. I think Zaza, human Zaza. I'm really not impressed with the speech to be honest.
No, I don't even know what they're saying. All right, Berserk. Oh, here's another one. Unlike its 2600 counterpart, the Atari 5200 version of Berserk retained the arcade's voice catchphrases, making this the first 5200 game to offer speech synthesis. And then we have the original box art for Berserk on Atari 5200, created by Hiro Kimura. Is that all the same dude? It looks like the same dude. All three of them look identical. There is twins. There is brothers. And then here's the box art.
With voice for arcade thrills. Voice feature requires no additional hardware.
I mean, I would assume so. Any marks on this?
You shouldn't assume that, actually, because like the Intellivision required an add-on to play voice, the Odyssey required an add-on to have voice, you know, so like that was like the standard. You had to buy an add-on. So the fact that it didn't require an add-on is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Berserk, platform Atari 5200, release year 1983. With more popular hardware, the 5200 version of Berserk was able to retain the speech synthesis of its coin-op counterpart. The gameplay remains relentless as human players blast robots in single-screen mazes, only to escape into another room filled with even deadlier enemies.
Looks a lot better.
Hang on.
Pretty simple.
Toggle voice?
Let's see if I turn the voice off. Let's play, let's hear the voices. Ooh, cool. That looks nice. We're shooting each other.
Yeah, no, I'm. The aiming is not as good as it is in the other ones.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting because it looks just like the arcade version.
It does.
Joystick supposed to.
I don't. Okay, that's weird too. How it pauses the screen whenever they talk?
Third shooter alert or something.
Yeah. No, I heard what it said. It's just.
Hear it so well. The 5200 joysticks are supposed to be horrible, so maybe they're trying to emulate them.
So this is the game that gave the guy a heart attack?
No, the arcade game did.
Crush the humanoid, crush the intruder.
Well, that's what he said. I think he said Zaza humanoid.
No.
I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Crush the humanoid. Oh, you're right. I didn't realize.
Why would he say Zaza humanoid? Does that make any sense?
I don't know, but that's what it sounded like.
No. Zaza humanoid. Here, another game that's not Berserk. Atari Video Cube, a handful of Atari 2600 games, were only offered as mail-order titles through the Atari Club. The first, Atari Video Cube, began as an unlicensed interpretation of the 1980s puzzle phenomenon Rubik's Cube, but its mechanics ultimately differed. AVC's limited availability makes it a rare prize among modern collectors.
You like to collect shit.
This artwork used for the main box art for both Atari Video Cube and the Rubik's Cube reissue takes a literal approach to illustrating the gameplay. Believe it or not, Stu, there are Rubik's Cube games on modern console. Somebody literally made a Rubik's Cube game on PS5. It's on the store. I'm not even joking. So, you know, there's an appeal somehow. A cerebral but unused illustration for Rubik's Cube created by Burl Dickey. Looks weird. It's a whole new cube. It will be at least 6 months before Atari Video Cube is sold in any store, notes this Atari Club ad. The game was re-released in 1984, retitled with the official Rubik's Cube license. Huh?
You can't yet convince any store to actually carry it, so it'll be at least 6 months.
Yeah, that's funny. Puzzle Power. This Atari Age feature takes a holistic view on the Rubik's Cube craze, offering an academic look at puzzles throughout the ages, before ending with a preview of the upcoming Atari Video Cube. Why did they put down Chinese?
Cube was super popular.
They put down like Chinese checker ancient. Okay. Anyway, no, that ad is just weird.
Oh, Rubik's Cube was so popular, but who would play it on an Atari? I don't understand that at all.
I don't know, but we're gonna have to. Atari Video Cube, platform Atari 2600, release year 1982. Inspired by the puzzle craze of the early 1980s, Atari Video Cube challenges players to organize the colors on a rotatable cube through their on-screen avatar. Hubie, the Cube Master. Originally an exclusive offered to members of the Atari Club, this rare game was later reissued with the official Rubik's Cube license.
Hubie, the Cube Master. Okay. This looks great.
Yeah. Am I playing? Oh, okay.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, I'm rotating the cube. Like, okay, you know what? I would rather actually have an actual Rubik's Cube. That seems like a terrible game. It looks boring as hell. There's no music. There's nothing that's keeping me entertained. This is like one of those.
Really expensive.
This is one of those bargain bin games. You know when you remember when they used to have bargain bin games back in the like 80s and 90s. All these games that nobody wanted. Yeah. This is one of them. Yeah, exactly. I can guarantee you. This is one of them. Sorry, we were gonna buy you a Rubik's Cube for Christmas, but you know, too expensive, so we got you this game instead.
This game costs $165 complete in box.
Okay. Wow. Good luck in getting anybody to buy it for that.
There's some people buying it, apparently. It's not me, but...
After the NES,
I don't want to buy anything.
When the Nintendo Entertainment System resuscitated the console market in the mid-'80s, Atari offered the 7800...
What happened to Frenzy? Did you play Frenzy? No, it's like further back. Further back.
No,
further back. Here. You didn't play this one, did you?
That was the arcade game. that we were playing.
I know, but it's not. But it's a different arcade game. Did you play it?
Yeah, that was the very first one that we played. Because that's the
No,
start
that
of the
was
Berserk.
arcade game.
No.
No, this is the sequel. The sequel.
No, Stu, that's the only arcade game. The rest is all the Atari
Go
ones.
back more. Go back more. Go back to the top. There, that was the one you played. I don't think you played the second one.
You sure? Oh, let's try it then.
You read some of it, but I don't think you played it.
All right, well let's do it. Frenzy Platform Arcade, release year 1982. The sequel to Berserk offers more panic and paranoia as human players struggle to survive in a never-ending labyrinth of deadly robots and electrified walls. To innovate for the sequel, some of these walls reflect the player's shots, while others can be partially destroyed, creating new escape routes. Okay. Same controls as the first game.
It's dual stick. No, it's dual stick shooters.
Oh, it's not robots anymore. It's octopuses and skeletons.
It's human play, right?
Oh, there's Mr. Smiley.
Apparently you can kill this guy now. Or you can shoot, you can stun him.
You can stun him for 3 hits, yeah.
Oh man, I feel lining up like you can't hit him. Cool shit. Good job. Weird ass enemy. The white one, you shoot through the white walls, it bounces off, so be careful with that.
Oh my god. At least let me move. I'm not entering my initials for that. You must be insane. I'll do another quick round.
Frenzy more like shitsy.
Frenzy more like shitsy. Who said that? Always asleep?
That was good. Always asleep.
Hey, buddy, let's see if we can stun your ass.
It respawns him. Okay. I have to take a page out of Always Asleep's book here and say that I preferred the first one. Alright. Desert Falcon, an isometric shooter with an Egyptian theme. Desert Falcon appeared on the Atari 2600, 7800, and XE home computer systems. Bob Polaro, who had programmed the VCS version of Defender, also handled this 2600 version. This artwork was used for the cover image for the 2600, 7800, and Atari XE versions of Desert Falcon. Alright. Desert Falcon, platform Atari 2600, release year 1987. This arcade-style flight shooter pits would-be treasure hunters against thematically ancient Egyptian guardians such as vultures and scarabs. While it cannot compare visually to the 7800 version, Desert Falcon 2600 still delivers the core gameplay. Keep an eye on your bird's shadow to gauge your height. Oh, whoops. Okay, so let's look at the controls first. Land hop swim is up, down, left, right. We got the instruction. This looks like this might be the original instruction manual. Alrighty. How am I supposed to gauge my bird's depth? This.
What is it, a pole?
No, it's a bird. My goal. How is this supposed to? How is that supposed to compete with the NES?
That one is clearly not.
like. Oh my god, the NES brought out Super Mario Brothers. I know. Let's bring out a game where you play as a blob that looks like a bird but doesn't look like a bird.
Wow, what a system.
Or is it another winner? Wow, what a system.
It really does.
Wait a second, hold on. That was the 2600 version. That was the Submarine version. You the 700 version also?
Yeah, but they don't have it in here.
What? Why not?
I don't know, Stu. I'm not the guy who created this. Alright, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna send you the... So we're almost done this collection. I just want to finish it off tonight so that we don't have to do 2 parts. I realize that we're probably going into 3 hours at this point, but... you know...
We're going to hour to 4.
God, we still got quite a bit left. Son of a bitch. Double Duck. Sports remained an important genre for Atari. Even after the real sports brand was no longer in use, Double Duck's 2-on-2 half-court presentation of basketball features relatively sophisticated elements, such as play calling and 3-point shots.
Did we start this like 3 hours ago?
Yeah, we're yeah.
YouTube it says 2 hours.
Super football. Super football can be seen as something of a missing link for the genre, as its isometric behind-the-team view would become the default for the console football games that followed in the 1990s. This fresh take was programmed by Doug Neubauer of Star Raiders fame. Alright, so we'll look at the box art. Collect games, win prizes. What do you think, Always Asleep? What do you think, Always Asleep? Is this going to be another stinker? We'll find out. Tune in tomorrow. No. Let's not forget though. Winners don't use drugs.
Hang on a second.
Okay, so we're gonna go into this one first. Double Duck, platform Atari 2600, release year 1989. One of the final few games produced for the 2600, 1989's Double Duck represents a dramatic visual upgrade from the original basketball game released in 1978. It's a 2-on-2 half-court contest with true-to-life details like play calling, foul detection, shot clock violations, and 3-second lane violations. Many of these options can be toggled off if the player is not looking for a realistic simulation. Are they literally dancing? Okay. Controls. Move up, move down, move left, move right. Action. Okay. Quickly look at the instruction manual. What? I'm hitting every button here. What's going on? Move up, action, select. Ah, one player.
Sorry about that.
Well, you're not missing much. Oh, there we go. Now I got it working. All right. So I'm at the bottom.
Okay. I guess that's the computer that keeps scoring. Are you white? I'm sure we're offense now.
I've already lost insane amounts of interest. I don't even like sports games to begin with, but that just seems like a headache and a half. And then they made a super version.
This game I heard was good. I never played it.
Super Football, platform Atari 2600, release year 1988. Developed by Star Raiders programmer Doug Neubauer, Super Football is a particularly impressive example of what developers could achieve after a decade of 2600 development. The smooth sprite animations and the player's perspective down the scrolling gradirion offered a clear direction to sports game developers. Oh, yeah, of course. Offered a clear direction to sports game developers of the 16-bit era. Are these the actual... Okay. Am I playing right now?
I think probably the computer kicked off the ball.
Okay. It looks like I am playing.
For 2600 this is pretty nice.
I'm going to look at the construction manual quickly, like we did with the last one. I always love when game manuals, they still do this to this day. Like, if you get a game with a manual, obviously you don't do that. I mean, older games, I guess, do it now, because we don't have manuals in the new games. But, I mean, when PS4 had, you know, they were releasing PS4 games and they had the manuals in the game cases, they always say, getting started, and they go, remember to place your PS5 disc into your PS5 console. It's like, oh, well, damn, there go my plans to put a Xbox game disc into my PS5 console. Like, I mean, I always found it so funny. It's like, please remember to turn on your TV before playing. What do you think I'm going to do? Just like turn on my console and just play with a fucking blank screen? Like, so dumb. Like, I mean, how stupid. Yeah. I don't even know where I am here, man. I'm not even... Oh, I'm at the bottom. Okay. I see me now. I'm the one that's flashing purple and pink, and now I'm dead.
That's sad. We're trying to throw the ball this time. That was a mistake.
Stu, did you just say that this is one of the... Did you just say that this is one of the better games?
No, I said it looks pretty good for Atari 2600.
Oh.
I heard it's a good game. I haven't played it.
Uh-huh.
I think the computer was still fast. So I don't know how to play it.
Well, I think I've seen enough. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really into sports games, and this just looks... I'd rather play the modern interpretations.
Did you ever see the Angry Video Game Nerd Atari Sports episode?
I did not. I'm assuming it's a lot of fun.
You gotta watch that. It's one of the funniest nerd video game episodes of all time. It's so funny. You'll be laughing while you watch it.
Off the Wall revisited Atari's classic Brick Breaker gameplay, adding human characters and power-ups. This Atari 2600 title bears no relation to Atari Games' arcade game of the same name, which appeared 2 years later. Original artwork. This paper sculpture became the cover art for Off the Wall's retail box. Unfortunately, the artist is unknown, so they basically stole it. That's what they're saying.
There's a horrible artwork. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it doesn't suit the rest of the box. It just looks like they slapped somebody's artwork from like an entirely different generation on top of their own art. So what I'm saying, that's why I'm saying there's no way that whoever made that art worked for Atari. They probably just went to a museum, saw that art piece, and they're like, that's gonna look good on our game box. What is... Some say that the legend of the Grand Master Kung Fu Lu is centuries old. It begins soon after the Great Wall of China was erected. Alright. Why? That is a lot of writing for a game box.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, you don't need to tell the whole story on the back. You don't need to tell the whole story on the back of the game box. Like, maybe a couple of words, yeah. Save it for the manual. Anyway, let's check it out. Off the Wall, platform Atari 2600, release year 1989. The basic formula of Breakout was still bearing fruit as late as 1989 with this Brick Breaker. Off the Wall adds 5 token power-ups as well as animated characters. The player controls Lou, who must smash through the wall of bricks and hit the dragon at the top of the screen.
Good.
Move left, move right, begin game. Okay.
This is still Atari 2600. Where's the 7800 games? I'm really confused.
Where's the what?
7800 games. Like, why did I check 7800 games? Where's your 2600 games?
I don't know. Did you switch mics or something?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Whatever comes out, whatever Atari 2600 game came out in 1989, like, who would have won it? Anyway,
oh, here we go.
You gotta press the button to shoot the ball.
Jesus, this ball goes fast. Holy shit.
Yeah, you need paddles for this. You do really well. I'm amazed you're still alive. Holy shit. Oh, you couldn't even get there in time. That was like super fast. You gotta break through and get that dragon. That's what they call a dragon. It looks like a centipede or something.
Yeah, that does not look like a dragon to me. That just looks like an earthworm having a freaking breakdance.
Oh, whoa. That was promising. You couldn't get there in time. Actually, you couldn't.
How many lives do I have? I guess 4?
Bug!
Son of a bitch.
I think you're your last guy. Oh, get it up in that hole.
Jesus. Alright, we'll try one more.
You need paddles for this. I'm sure you need paddles for this. You're not supposed to play with the joystick. That's awesome. I'm
doing pretty good.
You did pretty well, but considering you're like, you're the right controller.
Got him.
Oh, you got the dragon. Nice. There's back there.
Got him a second time.
The reminds me of moving to the arcade is like much shittier. How it's 3 times. And you got super lucky. 4 times. Oh my god, this is like the best. You haven't touched the wall like forever. Nice.
Look at my points.
Those points are still going up.
Yeah. That's crazy. Alright, let's try that again. Ah, damn it. I never know if those things that are falling down here, if I'm supposed to hit them as well. No, see, that's a bomb, so I'm not supposed to hit that.
They're just there to get in the way of the ball. There's no way you could possibly replicate that performance. Oh, you got him again. Holy crap! Did you win? You beat the level!
There you go.
Nice! Oh my god! I guess you gotta get it like 5 times or something. That was like a bat or something. I don't know what it was. A bird, a vulture.
It reminds me a lot of kind of like Arkanoid, except you know, instead of
That's what I'm saying.
the
It's
ship.
like Arkanoid
Yeah,
versus
Ah, son of a bitch.
Arkanoid, except the ball is a square with flippers.
Well, hey, I beat the first level at least. Gave us enough to see what the game's
I
like.
haven't played that game in a million years. Just for the record.
You wouldn't, or you would?
I would not.
Now, keep in mind, everybody, if you do decide to get this collection, that you can save your game. So if you make some really good progress in any of these games, you can save them and load up your saves. So that's really cool that every single one of these has their own save spot.
Oh, I can save my game in that? Oh, wow, I'm so excited.
Well, okay.
Just followed.
Oh, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Alright, so Moto Rodeo, offering a split-screen 2-player monster truck race. Moto Rodeo shows how far 2600 software development had come after 12 years. Created by Steve DeFrisco for the Nolan Bushnell-founded Axlon.
Save your game and never play it again.
And never play it again. I mean, that's true too. But I mean, you can technically say that for any game, right? It's one of the last cartridges released for the Atari 2600. Look at the box art. See if there's any writing on it. Ever since that one box, I've been looking every time. Take your damn game and get out of here. You bug me all the time. That's what it says on the box. Alright, play. Moto Rodeo, platformer.
A store called Gamers Grotto in VT Great Store.
Oh yeah, no, there is a store. Well, there's actually a YouTube channel called Gamers Grotto, and it's about this store. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Yeah. So how I came up with the name for my channel is I used to run a forum back in the early '90s. I want to say called the Gamers Grotto. And when I came up with my YouTube name, I was like, well, I don't know what to name myself. And then I remembered that forum that I adminned on. And I'm like, well, first I checked to make sure the forum still existed, and of course it doesn't. And so then I was like, okay, that's my name. That's the name I'm going.
It's in Bennington, Vermont.
It's funny because when you start telling that story, I thought you were going to be like, well, the way I got this name is I used to run this store in Vermont.
I used to, back in my day. No, Moto Rodeo platform Atari 2600, release year 1990. Monster trucks come out to play in this 2-player split-screen racer, released in 1990 as one of the Atari 2600's final games. Moto Rodeo offers deceptively sophisticated gameplay as players navigate through obstacles like mud pits and ramps. Points are awarded for crushing cars, demolishing walls, and landing from huge ramp jumps with skillful accuracy. Developed for Axlon, a company founded by Nolan Bushnell after he left Atari. We've played this before.
You know, it looks like that Evil Knievel game.
No. Hold on, Stu. We played this before. This game was already on the. This game was already in the collection.
Maybe we already got the end of. I don't remember this possibly playing it.
Yeah, no, I remember this being in the collection. So it's almost like they're re-adding games that they've already added to try and make more money off of the DLC.
Maybe they had the 7800 version or something.
Oh, that could be it.
No, it wasn't 7800. See, look at them.
Ah, shit, what's my jump? Is that a person? Not anymore.
So this, you're right, this is not...
I was exited for this new Atari download once I found out it had Berserk and Frenzy. I downloaded the $13.99 version.
You know what I said, he was wrong? You're right, we played this right. This was not on the new DLC. You played everything actually that's on the DLC.
Yeah, so this is a different version of the one I played, but I definitely did play it.
No, it's not a different version. It's the same version. This is not part of the DLC. You reach the end of the DLC, you're like, so now you merge back onto the... Draw the list of stuff that you sent me. And,
Right.
I saw after that an Adventure 2, and you played that also. Yeah, it just sort of like, it just merged into other stuff that you bring there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So I'm almost wondering if this is going to be in two parts. Let me just look at something quickly here. So I'm going to look at the games. I'm going to read the games that were included in the DLC.
I just looked at it. The one you sent me the other day. We played all of them. It's like
we did.
Yeah, the Atari 50th, Avalanche, 800 Avalanche Arcade, 4 versions of Berserk, Desert Falcon, Destroyer Arcade, Football Arcade, Frenzy Arcade, Off the Wall, Red
Well, regardless,
Skydiver.
Regardless, to finish the collection, since we're almost near the end here, we might as well finish this off, right? And play the remaining games, whatever.
You can play it again if you want.
In past videos, but for the new viewers who have not seen, I'm going to do them. From players to creators. For some, Atari stalwarts, merely collecting the games they grew up with isn't enough. With curiosity and passion, the Homebrew community has kept Atari's flame burning through some of the company's less active years. That's a video on Homebrew games.
So I started collecting on the 2600 when I was working at Looking Glass in Cambridge, Massachusetts, with Rex Bradford, who had actually worked for Activision and Parker Brothers back in the day. And that inspired me. It's like, I should go pick up a 2600 and then start buying all those games I could never afford as a kid.
So I started looking on eBay to regain my old 2600 library, whatever. And in my searching, I found the Stella List. The Stella List was a collection of programmers that were interested in programming the VCS.
I think everybody who got into Homebrew pretty early in the 2600 was a member of the Stella List, and that's where everybody shared their findings on the 2600. And of course, the original developer documentation that was at Atari was scanned and provided through the list. A lot of source code for demos, like audio demos, sprite demos, playfield demos, and all stuff, kind of passed through the Stella mailing list.
That was where all the activity was for development for a long time.
Berserk is my favorite Atari game.
Help, or if I had a problem, the team on the Stella List were there to help me pass my problem.
And it was almost all this technical discussion on how to develop.
I actually liked it, yeah. I have to say Berserk was definitely one of the better games I played in this collection so far. Or in this DLC, I should say. Yeah, it's definitely one of the better ones. I'm probably going to go back to it, honestly. I'm probably going to replay it. At least the arcade version. I'll probably replay it, because it seemed like a lot of fun to me.
There's just so much development, hardware and software, on all these platforms on Atari Age.
In my mind, 2600 programming is like as raw as it gets. It kind of shows people all your flaws, and so I'm really nervous about sharing things on the Atari Age forums. I have in the past, and I've received some great feedback, but ultimately at the end of the day, for me, I feel so inadequate when I post things there, because there's so many smart people who are way smarter than me doing just incredible things. And I always feel like what I'm posting is just like a friend of mine used to say, it feels baby school.
But on the Atari Age forum, they have a 2600 programmer forum that you can go to. Yeah, anyone is willing to just jump in and help you.
There's a number of really talented programmers still doing wonders on the 2600.
That part of the Stellar list lives on the Atari Age forum. Absolutely.
When we started Atari Age, back in 2000, we worked on 2000, opened it in 2001. Atari really wasn't paying attention to this growing community of people who are basically celebrating the brand.
I don't think there was any time during those years when Homebrew really started to take off for the Atari consoles that Atari at that time felt in any way threatened.
I don't think they knew we existed. and I don't think they cared.
I remember the adult games they had for the Atari LOL.
Most of the time they just kind of ignored it.
But Adventure 2, when it started out, was not endorsed by Atari in any way. And when they got wind of it, it came very close to shutting the project down. But they were able to work together, and now it is an IP that is approved by Atari, and now the community they can play it. I mean, it was a great piece of work.
At some point, you realize, well, Atari Age, costs money to run. It's running on like a dedicated server with the forum and the games database. We can, instead of having ads on the website, we can just start publishing games ourselves. So it just went really slowly first, and one of the first games was Mike Micah's Berserk voice enhanced.
And ultimately, it was the information I gathered from shared resources in the Homebrew community that led me to adapt Berserk's voice.
And from there, it just kind of blossomed, and a small group of home developers, including Thomas Jentz, allowed me to start publishing their games in the Atari Age store.
Kurt Vendel was working with Atari and did the first flashback. It wasn't exactly what he envisioned, but it was the starting point. And that was his whole plan, as I understand it. It's like, let me get in the door with this, and then I can produce what I wanted. And that was the flashback too. In doing that and contracting with Atari, Kurt reached out to Homebrew developers because he wanted to showcase, hey, not only do you have these classics here, but you have people that are still programming for this unit, and he wanted to show that. I was one of the Homebrew developers that he reached out to. I'm honored that he reached out to me on that.
I had the fortune of knowing Kurt Vendel years and years ago. I met him at this trade show. Well, it was like a fan show called World of Atari, and it was in '98, I believe. And it was pretty clear he knew a lot about Atari. And not only that, he had a lot of ephemera from the old Atari days. And so we became fast friends. And a lot of the early Digital Eclipse projects that we worked on, Kurt helped us out, and he found the information we needed. He helped us figure out how things worked. He was an incredible hardware guy, incredible software guy, and he was so hell-bent on getting the story right. And so I give a lot of credit to Kurt for paving the way, for giving people the understanding of like where the real heroes were in those old days at Atari.
Why isn't he in the video?
What?
That Kurt guy that they're talking about, you'd figure that they would have interviewed him or something as well. Like, he wasn't even in the video. I just thought that was kind of odd. Anyway, whatever.
I think he died.
Oh.
I think he died.
Okay. Well, that would make sense.
He died in 2020.
Adventure 2, originally a homebrew sequel for the Atari 5200. Kurt Vendel created a 2600 version of Adventure 2 for the Flashback 2 in 2005. While the graphics remain comfortably familiar, the player's realm expands to the neighboring kingdoms of fire and ice to create a longer, more difficult quest. So, these are the homebrew games too. We never played the homebrew games. That's what this is. That's yeah.
We did play them. So I remember you played St. Mary, and you actually thought it was good. But I think I said last time that like this Adventure 2, I actually ordered those back in the day when it came out in 2001 or something. And then I never like really paid attention to all like the I don't know, hundreds of games they did after that in Atari Age until much more recently. could actually get this first Alien game. This is like a. What if they released this box like this? It was originally for $52. I don't know, really could be.
Alright, so we'll go into this. Adventure 2 platform Atari 2600, release year 2005. Once again, you must dodge deadly dragons, retrieve the enchanted chalice, and return it to the castle. But this time, you'll have to explore the deadly Fire and Ice Kingdoms. This official sequel to the Atari 2600 Classic was created by Kurt Vendel in 2005 for the Atari Flashback 2 plug-and-play gaming console, incorporating elements from the Atari 5200 homebrew game by Ron Lloyd. Alright. I always found it strange, like even in the original adventure game, and well, this one as well, there was never any audio cues. Like there was, I would have expected at least an opening chime or something like that. It just kind of like shoves you into the game, and it's like, you're playing now, by the way. You know what I mean? It's like there's no audio cue to say like, okay, the game started. What the hell was that? Was that the dragon? Why did it glitch? Like,
That's the bat. That's the bat. He's carrying the bridge.
The bridge, yeah.
The bat is tricky, yes.
What am I? Isn't this my sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't kill the bat, unfortunately. It's too bad.
So what am I? How am I getting the bridge from the bat then? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need.
Drop the bridge when he feels like it. You can give the bat something. If you like pass by.
Now he's got it. Now he's got a key. This bat is taking all my shit.
If you like sort of pass by, they'll probably swap with you. If they have that corner, if he comes back again, they'll probably like trade with you with the sword if you want to do that. Not easy to wait for them to drop it.
Oh, now the little bastard's not.
You see, you could have stuck in the wall.
That didn't work. Every time I hear this sound, you know what it reminds me of?
No.
The doors opening and closing in the original Police Quest 1. When you're opening your car door. It's the exact same sound, I swear.
Maybe it is the same sound.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I wanted the key, you stupid bat. Give me back my key. No, my key. Oh, you bugger. Jesus. I feel like the key's more important than my sword at this point.
Well, it depends what's next. I mean, you're stuck in this area. You have to figure out how to get out of it.
Why is the bat now following... The bat's now following me.
You're carrying the bat. You're carrying the bat who's carrying the sword.
Jesus. This is great. I want the damn key. I don't want the bat and the sword. This is crazy. Oh, Jesus, and he took the key again. Oh, my Lord. I don't think I have the patience for this right now.
That's probably good.
Return to Haunted Castle. While this homebrew entry from Anthony Wong is clearly inspired by the 2600 game from 1982, on a technical level, it's actually a modification of Adventure's programming code. The result is an intriguing blend of both games as players explore dark spaces and collect parts of a shattered urn within a linear quest structure. Okay. Return to Haunted House, platform Atari 2600, release year 2005. Homebrew programmer Anthony Wong created this game in 2005 to continue the legacy of the original Haunted House. Players must explore the ghost-riddled mansion of Zachary Graves. Only by finding Graves' skull and returning it to its underground crypt will the town of Spirit Bay be freed from its supernatural curses. Now, I don't know if you know this, Stu, but so there has been a bunch of Atari remakes for PS5, and I'm not talking like this quality. I'm talking like next-gen visuals, right? And Haunted House, or Return to Haunted House, I think it is, one of them, is one of those remakes, as well as several other Atari games. And they're redone in really next-gen visuals. And I do plan to pick them up and stream them at some point soon, probably within the next week or so. And when I do, if you want to come in for some of those, feel free as well. Haunted House is one.
Was the Atari Recharged thing? Is that what you're talking about? Is that the Recharged stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
What the hell was that?
It was a ghost, but I think I killed it with my whatever the hell I'm carrying, my shovel.
I don't know.
But I looked at the visuals for the Haunted House one. Now, I mean, you can look at them too on the store, but they look really good. I mean, no, okay, the ghost is actually attacking me. All right, I thought I was attacking it, and he took my shovel.
I'm telling you, I was trying to dig something. You took my shovel. What if I wanted to do some gardening? I can't do gardening anymore because you took my shovel.
But yeah, no, the new game is really good. Like it's visually stunning. Like I mean, you'll see when you see the screenshots. It looks fantastic. Whether it has the same style of gameplay as the original Haunted House games, I don't know. But I'm assuming that in the sake of Atari collectors, I don't think they probably changed too much, because it wouldn't make any sense, because that would just piss off Atari collectors at that point when you're remaking a game and being like, yeah, this is a remake of the game and totally different. Because then it's not a remake.
Yeah. Did you play this last time? I thought we...
Yeah, we did. This is a bit spooky. I'm sorry, Always Asleep. I'll quit it now because it's obviously terrifying you when you need your sleep. I was planning on quitting it right then anyway, so you gave me the excuse. Alright. On loan from the lab, erasable, programmable lab loaner cartridges were used by Atari's engineering team to test games in development. EPROMs like this one were often loaned out to members of the press for preview or review coverage. Searching for prototypes. For various business and creative reasons, some games that were once destined for store shelves simply disappear instead. When prototypes of unreleased games surface, fans like Atari Age's Albert Yaruso mobilize to preserve these often incomplete creative expressions, and sometimes give them a second chance at success.
A lot of games were in development at Atari when the market crashed in '94, and a lot of them were done or very close to being done, and not just for the 2600 but also the 5200. A lot of these prototypes are being discovered during this time period, and there were various people who were creating packaging for them that would be reminiscent of, hey, what if Atari published it? What if Fox published this game? What would it look like? And you'd have a line of people at the Classic Gaming Expo on Saturday or Sunday to get their copy of the game, and they would sell out back then. And, they're $50, $60 a piece, but, they looked great. They looked like this is what real sports basketball never released, but, there's a really nice community-produced reproduction of it. They come from all over. Sometimes they come from the original developers who were working at Atari, took copies of those with them, thankfully, before they were thrown out, and they were nice enough to they either sell them or loan them out so people can actually dump them and then, preserve them indefinitely. And then Atari sent out a lot of lab loaner carts, basically like cartridges of games that were going to be released, like sending them to magazines in advance. Especially magazines back then had a really long lead time of months. So you'd want to get those games to the magazines so they could test them and then have an article ready, by the time the game comes out. So that's where a lot of the cartridges come from. They had a unique lab loaner label, returned to somebody at Atari with the name handwritten on the label. I'm sure you've seen them. Even now, there's still prototypes being unearthed, which is just remarkable that so long, after all this time has passed, we're still finding new games that either we never knew about or knew about and just didn't think existed. But people are finding them still.
I'm getting tired.
Hey, we're almost done, bro. 3 more. We can soldier on. It's better than having it in multiple parts. Aquaventure. Aquaventure's origins are murky. There's no official Atari record of the undersea action game, but the prototype has been traced back to 1983. Likely a victim of the game industry crash, it wouldn't see an official release until 2005 and was only issued on a cartridge by Atari in 2023. And then Under the Sea. Close inspection of the Aquaventure artwork seen here on a poster included with the 2023 limited edition suggests the game's underwater explorer is female. Aquaventure platform Atari 2600. Release year 1983. In this rare 1983 prototype, you must dive to the bottom of the ocean floor to collect treasure while dodging dangerous sea creatures and managing your oxygen supply. A victim of the 1983 industry crash, Aquaventure was completed but left unpublished for years. Mysteriously, it does not appear in Atari internal documents of the era. Atari officially released it on a 2600 cartridge in 2022. Oh, we've played this one before too. Except this is I guess the homebrew version.
You dive underwater.
Yep. It'd be funny if one of these had notes in it. It's like game codes or something. They're just like, whatever. I know that's what I used to do when I had those games back then with the manuals that had the note section. I would just like go on the internet, find all the cheat codes, and write them in the notes section. Am I playing right now? Because I
Get started again.
Oh, there we go.
And like go on the edge of the treasure chest and get it back up.
Ah, you damn minnow.
Lost.
Ah, come on.
Let's shoot them with your gun.
Yeah, no, I missed him that time. There.
Oh, that wasn't very fair.
No.
Get that treasure. Get up there.
What is that anyway? Is that a shark or a missile? It looks like a missile. It looked like a missile from a submarine attacking me. Okay, alright. Jesus. Crazy, man. That thing was like... I don't even have enough time to like shoot at it or dodge back. Oh, remember this one? We made fun of this one last time. Save Mary. It is. It's really good. I like this one too. The puzzle genre is underrepresented on the 2600, but Save Mary, originally developed by Todd Fry for Axlon in 1989, could have helped fill that void. The platform stacking rescue game remained unissued until Atari's Flashback 2 console in 2005. A limited edition physical cartridge of Save Mary quickly sold out in 2023. Cover artwork with a low angle on the main character, Save Mary's box art adds even more drama to the game's goal. Remember what we said last time? That Barnaby the Black was just made up, and the husband just threw her off a cliff. You remember? Where's your wife? I'm telling you, Barnaby the Black. He captured her. Wait. So she's at the bottom of the cliff. Yeah. He pushed her off the cliff. Yeah. That's what happened.
She's gone somehow.
Save Mary, platform Atari 2600, release year 1990. Mary is unfortunately stranded at the bottom of a canyon that's filling with water. It's up to you to build her a platform high enough for you to reach her with your crane and pull her to safety. Designed by Todd Fry, the creator of Sword Quest. In 1990, this action puzzle game was not officially released until it appeared on the Atari Flashback 2 plug-and-play console in 2005. Hey Mary, don't worry. I'm a construction worker. What if we throw the rock on her? What is going on? Why is this not letting me pick things up?
You're going too early. You gotta wait. Wait till the
I have to push it down? No, I don't. I'm supposed to pick it up with the crane, not push it.
Yeah, but you're doing too early. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, whoa. She's about to die.
It's okay. She was a terrible wife anyway. Let's try this again. I don't know why this is not letting me... Am I hitting the wrong button, maybe? Let me just look at something here, because I might be just hitting the wrong button. Pick up, drop object. Oh! I remember now. I remember what I have to do. I have to hold the X button to pick it up. There we go. There you go, Mary. Don't say I don't love you.
Yeah, right there. Drop it. Such Mary. That was fun.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I was excited for this new Atari download once I found out it had Berserk and Frenzy. I downloaded the $13.99 version. Berserk is my favorite Atari game. I remember the adult games they had for the Atari LOL. This is a bit spooky. Seems like a poor man's Wetrix.
Seems like a poor man's Wetrix?
She can actually jump.
Mary, stop jumping. I'm trying to put down the fucking brick, for fuck's sakes. Mary, don't jump anymore. I'm trying to save you. Oh my god, Mary. This is why you're down here in the first place. Okay. I think we almost got her saved, because we don't have to go all the way... We don't have to go all the way up, just enough so that the drill can, or the crane... Alright, well you guys get the idea. You guys get the idea. You have to stack the bricks until she's within reach, and then she'll climb onto the crane, and then that's how you save her. And then as the game progresses... As the game progresses, it's...
You're supposed to kill her.
Supposed to kill her. Pour her in cement. Pour her in cement. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. This is what happened to Mary. No joke. This fucking guy threw her off a cliff. I used a drill, a fucking crane. I tried to get her out of there. I'm telling you. I tried. Something happened. She fell in cement. Yeah, you know, the rest is history. Alright, for the love of Atari, what makes Atari fans so passionate? People who have helped preserve and extend Atari's legacy discuss the love that lies beyond mere nostalgia.
When you think of the 80s and video games, Atari is the company that comes to mind. And because those people grew up with it, there's a lot of nostalgia today still for the brand. And I think that's the main reason why you see people so passionate about Atari.
When we do our best, video games are an art form. What we're doing doesn't just distract people or pass the time. We leave them with something.
The brand was so iconic for so long that it feels like it was a part of their life, and that it felt like a part of their identity. So I think whenever Atari over the years has done something against those core values of what people have brought to Atari and how they feel they fit with Atari. That's why you'd see a lot of vocal retaliation to what Atari was doing, because it was so personal to them.
And, Atari did a great job with marketing. They had a lot of the arcade hits, like Pac-Man and Defender, and just tons of arcade games that people wanted to play at home. And they just did a great job with marketing, getting the systems out there, and that's what people remember from those early days.
For me, it is the excitement that I had as a young teenager having the VCS. That excitement is still there for me. And you've heard this before. You never forget your first.
We've seen that before.
That would be the VCS for me.
I think video games are proving to be more and more like the music business. Whatever you heard at certain points in your life of music, that's the soundtrack for your life. And when you hear those songs when you were a kid or when you were a teen or when you were in college, it brings back those memories and you're attached to that time and to that version of yourself. And the music takes you back there.
I think for a lot of people, it was the very first system that they had, especially for the 2600. And even then, the Pong systems that came before that, and Atari was active in arcades as well. I think the combination of, the home consoles, arcades, and then computers, that kind of trifecta really kept Atari in everyone's mind, versus the other companies only had like a console, home console, and didn't do the other things.
I took my 8-bit 800 XL with me to college, and that's what I wrote my reports on. Now, granted, everybody in the dorm down the hall heard it checking on the, the 1027, but hey, I did my reports on it.
There were people who dedicated their lives to just making sure that an Atari 800 could stay working. And they would sell parts as cheap as they could to people to keep their machines working. And so for, I'd say, like 3 decades, basically, you've had all these kind of like unknown people working behind the scenes just to keep Atari alive.
Millions of people grew up with these consoles. They enjoyed them. Their first interaction with video games for a lot of people, and computers. And, and Atari made a ton of great arcade games as well that are very memorable. So again, I think all of that just helped to keep the brand alive, even when Atari wasn't very active.
Ultimately, I think Atari, the name, was what survived, but not Atari, the game company. It was a different game company. It was really just Atari by name. And so we were left with a huge community of people who grew up with the Atari. It was a very personal thing for them that felt like they were being abandoned by the namesake in some ways. And so they were the ones who were the torchbearers. These are people who kept Atari alive.
I was in Europe, in Germany, and I was waiting for some friends, and all of a sudden this person comes walking by.
Here we go! Another damn story! This is why the video is 4 minutes.
I was at the Gap store this time, and I saw a multicolored Atari T-shirt for children, and I said, well, I kind of chuckled to myself, and I said, Jesus, Atari is just not going to go away. And then, of course, I had to buy the shirt for my great nephew. So.
Futuristic sense forever. Even as gaming moves forever into the future, Atari and its fans will never forget its past. Here's to the artists, programmers, and players who have contributed to Atari's legacy. Alright, so that's it for the DLC, The Wider World of Atari. Now there's another DLC coming out November 8th, which Stu and I will stream as well on this channel, and that'll be called Atari's Console Wars. And that's going to be covering the console war between Atari and Intellivision. I believe it was Intellivision.
Atari recently bought a television, so I guess they have the games now.
Yeah. So that'll be in November 8th. In the meantime, tune in within the next couple of days. We're going to be going back into the Plucky Squire, which is the reality-bending, fourth-wall-breaking game, very reminiscent to The Legend of Zelda. Very good game. We're going to be checking that out, part 2 of that. And we're also going to be going back into Hi-Fi Rush as well. So thank you very much to my co-host, Stu's Game Reviews, for giving us some insight into all these great Atari games that really were the games that inspired the future of video games. Everything that we kind of have today is very much influenced by Atari in one way or another.
Thank you, my loves. Take care.
Take care. But yeah, so thank you once again, Stu. I appreciate you being here. I know this ran longer than we were expecting because we normally only go for about 2 hours. We're almost hitting 4 here, but I'm glad that we stuck around till the very. I'm glad that we stuck around till the very end. I enjoyed this. I mean, there are some games obviously that I would not play, but there is a few in there that I will probably go back to and play because I thought they were really inventive and really cool. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody watching and everybody watching after the fact. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys like what you see, consider liking and subscribing. Also, please subscribe to Stu's Game Reviews as well. He is also an excellent live streamer who streams a lot of Atari games. So if you really love those Atari games, definitely give him a watch. He also streams point-and-click adventure games as well and stuff like that. So definitely check him out on his channel. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of days for The Plucky Squire and Hi-Fi Rush. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon at the Gamer's Grotto. I'm going to just turn it over here to Stu if he wants to say anything, and then we'll end the stream for tonight.
Just want to say peace out, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, there you go. Peace out, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon at the Gamer's Grotto. If you missed any of the previous live streams, check them out in the playlist section, and until then, have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon.